Hey, welcome friends, another one of our Slant Alpha adventures coming underway. Truly Slant Alpha this evening in the A2A Simulations Piper Comanche. Welcome. We are live from Studio 5 just outside of Ocean City, Maryland. In the sim, we are just north of Atlanta, Georgia. We're going to be finishing up tonight something we've been working on for months and months and months, chipping away at it stream at a time. Just kind of, bits and pieces there as we've been able to kind of come back to it. But it is what they call the Atlanta ARTCC's Pilot Passport Challenge. And let me see if I can get over to their website here. So this is Atlanta ARTCC website on VATSIM at the Atlanta Virtual ARTCC, ZTL ARTCC.org. They have under their pilots resources, they have at the very bottom, they have what you call the Pilot Passport Challenge. Oh, guess what? They've recognized me as a recent graduate of the corporate pilot list. If we go down under Pilot Passport Challenge, what they have is they have 3 different books that you can enroll in, and there's no reason not to enroll in all. It doesn't cost anything. It doesn't cost them anything as far as I know. But you can enroll in 3 different books, and they give you 3 different lists of places that they're encouraging you to visit within the ARTCC airspace. The Airline Captain book, the Corporate Pilot book, and the Bug Smasher book. We go into the book. This is Bug Smasher. We'll come back to that one. Airline Captain has most of the large and small airports that have passenger carrier service. And you can see that we visited all of them, and some of them we were airline types, and then others we were the Learjet, the Lear 35. It doesn't look like we did any of these in the Comanche. Looks like we did all of these in either a regional or full airliner or the Learjet. It doesn't really matter. I mean, the standard use case of these airports is passenger carrier service, but you can really visit them however you like. Now, in the corporate pilot list, I think we did a mix of the Learjet and the A2A Simulations Comanche. Some of these we stopped in as part of a more general aviation single-engine piston-oriented stream, and in others we did kind of honor the like I said, the standard use case as a corporate and or executive airport in many of these cases. Then on the Bug Smasher list, you can see we've got a couple of these left to go. Now this one was unstamped as of tonight. You can see that it is stamped the visit of today, 6:22 at 22:50 Zulu, so 10 minutes prior to the top of the hour when I connected to the network. And really the way this works is when you visit these on the VATSIM network, your visit gets logged automatically. After you've done the enrollment, that's really all you have to do, is to just visit each of these places on VATSIM. Even just spawning in there and staying parked there would count, but the idea is obviously to start or end the flight at these locations. These last 2 are the 2 that we are going to visit tonight. Matter of fact, those are our first 2 stops. We are going to, we're starting down here at Cherokee County. That is where we are, KCNI. Our first stop tonight, Blairsville, KDZJ. And then we're going to head east from there to stop here at this little private strip called Heaven's Landing. GE Golf Echo Niner is the identifier for it, but Heaven's Landing private airport there. And then that's going to wrap up our Bug Smasher list and our entire Atlanta ARTCC Passport Challenge. But we figure, since we're up in this area, this would be a pretty short stream. We'll close the night by taking a hike up through north and east of Asheville, North Carolina, to this little private resort called Mountain Air, another fun place to visit as a small general aviation type. We haven't been there in the stream in a while, but we have visited it a number of times. It is a private golf and relaxation resort right here near Mount Mitchell in North Carolina, just north and east of Asheville. And it's fun to try and navigate to and find. If you're doing a really good job with your visual navigation, you don't need any nav aids to find it by. And a lot of these VORs, like the signals don't really propagate well through the terrain, so good to be able to find it visually based on references of the terrain and the road patterns and all that sort of stuff. So that's what we're going to try and do tonight. Each of these 3 legs is going to carry with it some interesting challenges. Number 1 Cherokee to Blairsville, I think what we're going to do is we're going to follow this road north past Pickens County, past Gilmer County, past Blue Ridge Skyport, and then kind of around follow this road. Where this basically, this highway here, we're going to follow it all the way around. This highway, you kind of figure this highway takes this particular path for a reason. And we are going to, we're going to go ahead and follow the wisdom of the people who created that roadway and figure that it's the path of least resistance in terms of terrain. So that's going to be leg number 1. Leg number 2, you know, I figure we might wind up through this road here, road and power line system, I'm going to take a stab at the pronunciation here, Chattooga Lake. And down here to the south and east spur of that lake, we might follow this little tributary off to the south and east. We'll look to this northern tributary off of Lake Burton, and then that should lead us to Heaven's Landing. Then the third leg, you know, we kind of can follow the southeastern ridge of the Blue Ridge Mountains, and kind of follow that up through the Asheville Charlie. And then, you know, normally we kind of follow this highway, and then we look for this road with this 90-degree bend, and then you can kind of tell where the town of Burnsville is, and that's your cue to break off to the south. Once you see this town, then you'll see this road that kind of zigzags through this channel here, and then Mountain Air is kind of up ahead on your right. 4,432 foot elevation for this. It's kind of sitting on a little perch. It almost reminds me of Catalina, the way it sits kind of between, you know, it's in a slight valley in a high terrain area. So you kind of come down south from the town of Burnsville, zigzag through here, and then look over your right shoulder, and you're pretty much lined up for it. We almost always land on runway 32 because it upslopes to runway 14, upslopes to the 14 end rather. And depending on how the wind is going through here, we'll evaluate that when we get there. Most often we've got like a 90-degree crosswind. It's a pretty windy spot, very, very difficult, very challenging, lots of fun though. The biggest challenge of the evening, CB Flyer says, evening slant, enjoy dodging storms around ZTL. Yeah, that's going to be the biggest challenge of the evening, and I deliberately left the radar off because I didn't want that to become the story at first. But yeah, that is definitely going to be the story once we get into the flying. We're going to be certainly doing some cloud dodging and some storm dodging as we do some terrain dodging as well. In addition to CB, we got Upshot 2020. Yeah, we've got some fun weather around you. Yes, indeed. And thank you very kindly for the follow a little bit ago. I know I've seen you around a few different Discords, Melvin Leroy's at least for one. I'm not sure where else I've come across you before, but good to have you here. Thank you for hanging out with us this evening. All right, great. Let's get to it. I guess the one other, you're on the Virtual USA. Okay, I thought I'd seen you more than one place. The other thing to note before we get started is our Slant Artwork Adventure. Our Slant Artwork Adventure is a side project that we undertake on each stream to generate an image by feeding a description into ChatGPT, and we have it create an image that's roughly representative of what we're doing on the stream that day. And since we were speaking of Mountain Air Resort, I figured I would go ahead and have it generate me doing some golf at Mountain Air Resort. Now, I am not a golfer in the real world, and I certainly do not own any high-rise golf pants, nor Argyle socks, nor saddle shoes. However, I did let ChatGPT, I told it to go ahead and go wild with goofy old school golf attire for me. So there, it did me proud there. So there is our starting image for tonight's Slant Artwork Adventures. Me doing getting ready to tee off there, hole 1 at Mountain Air Resort. So you guys can check that image out, and then if you decide you want to make a modification or addition to it, you can cash in 500 of the Twitch channel points, aka the Twitch channel points, aka the alphabets points there at the bottom of the chat panel. Once you've done so, that puts you in the list to add to or modify that image. And once I realize you've done that, I'll call your name, and you can just let me know right in the chat what you would like to do. Yeah, nice outfits, says CB Flyer. Yeah, I know. I told it. I told it to go ahead and be a little creative with the license of what sort of golf attire to put me in, and it It did me proud on that. Normally, I find that ChatGPT, especially its image generation, loves to be clever and goofy and funny and silly. So if you give it just a gentle nudge in that direction, it will run with that generally. We found that on our Slant Artwork adventure over the last 6 months or so that we've been doing that. All right, I think that covers the briefing, guys. Let's take a look. I think what I'll do, just for simplicity's sake, let's blank out the route and let's put in just the first leg that we are going to do here. So let's just put in some generic. I'm not going to map out like every little twist and turn of the roadway here, but just to get a rough sense of the actual total mileage of this first leg here, let's just trace a path loosely along this roadway. And yeah, that's probably close enough right there. So this first leg, 53 miles northwest, really, first of all. North and slightly west. And then bending around to the east to Blairsville. So that'll be leg number 1, and we will go ahead and get to it. Upshot says, I love a good Comanche. As CB says, I would have loved to have seen the pups driving the golf cart, but that would change the whole picture. Yeah, I mean, it's up to you, man. If you want to put that in, I will certainly run with it. But I'll leave that up to you as to whether you want to burn some channel points on that, or sit on that thought for later, or whatever else you'd like to do. Do you want to go ahead and do that? I see now that you've put the request in. Is that what we want to do? We'll go ahead and get if that's what you're hankering for, we'll go ahead and get that working before I get started, and that way we get the project underway. Okay, we got it working on that. And we'll see how it goes. All right, let's go ahead and get to it then, shall we? Let's go ahead and walk up to the plane. And no, I said walk up to, not onto, just to. We will go ahead and unlatch the door, and we'll pop ourselves into the seat. Let's go ahead and sit down. I don't think you gotta always, for whatever reason, this plane now in 2024 boots up without the parking brake set, so that's kind of the first thing you want to do. But while we're in here, we can get rid of the control lock. I'm just going to get the yoke, the captain's side yoke out of the way just so we can see things. We'll go ahead and put the fuel valves forward. Oh, let's go ahead and decide on our fuel load. I think for this evening, if we start with 20 gallons on each side, we should be fine. Okay, and yep, that'll do. And I don't think we're probably not in need of an oil change. I think we did oil change pretty recently in this aircraft, so we should be good. Well, we will check when we get over there, but Upshot says it probably boots in like that for the Control-E pilots. No, I wouldn't think so. This plane never did that in Flight Sim 2020, and this is really not intended at all to be a Control-E kind of plane. This is very, very much intended as a really in-depth simulation. So I would doubt very highly that they would be catering more to the Control-E crowd than the realistic crowd. Yeah, I had a little bit of a snag with the image. We'll try it again. Alright, so we got parking brake, fuel and payload set, control lock, fuel valves. Oh, let's go ahead and get the battery and all the lights on, which we'll hopefully remember to check as we make our walk around. Alright, so we'll hop back out of the plane. Let's start on this side by grabbing the flap and making sure that it does not move. It's nice and secure. And then let's grab the aileron, make sure that it moves freely. But let's listen and make sure that it doesn't rub or catch anywhere as it moves. Out here, let's just make sure we're not going to have to do any kind of sump check on the tip tank because we don't have any fuel in it to speak of. But we do want to make sure that the nav light is on, and then we want to come over here and make sure that the landing light is on. And then we will grab up the tie down, and we'll grab up the wheel chocks. Up here, like right where the wing root meets, that's where we can do our sump check of the main tanks. We'll do a little bit of a sample of what comes out of the bottom of the tank. Make sure that it's not water. It is indeed fuel. As soon as we drain the bottom of it, we hit fuel immediately, which is good. No water settling into the bottom of the tank, and no obvious signs of contamination or dirt or anything else foreign floating around in that fuel. And it's consistent with the type and consistency of fuel, color and consistency of fuel that we have ordered to put in there. So that's all good. Everything is looking good so far. Let's uncrouch. We'll come around to the front. Excuse me, miss. Nothing left in the air intake, and no obvious signs of damage to the propeller. Let's pop the fuel cap here. Would be interesting to see simulated fuel contaminant CB flyer. Yeah, I wouldn't put it past A2A to have done that. Just because we haven't seen it yet doesn't mean that they don't simulate it. They definitely, when I say no obstructions in the air intake, we have definitely seen a rag left there before. I believe that everything that you can check on this plane can indeed indicate some sort of a problem. So I would not be surprised to see at one time we're going to do this and we're going to see some, dirt floating around in it. Alright, so we've got nice light tan oil, and it's sitting right there about the 9 mark. It's 10 quarts in it, but it sits right below right around the 9 mark when it's cold, so that's good. Everything's fine there. One thing we didn't check, speaking of type and color and consistency of fuel, is we want to open up the fill cap of the right side wing tank, make sure that we can poke our head down there. We really want to know the fuel quantity. We would run some sort of a dipstick down there, and we would know from the level of that dipstick how much fuel is in that tank. But if we know the plane really well, we can eyeball and see, yeah, it's about 2/3 full. Whoops, didn't mean to close that door. I meant to close the cap. So we'll close the cap, close the cover, open the door back up. I was reminded of that because I got around to the other side where we're going to do the same thing over here. So again, you would want to kind of just lean in, poke your head down there, make sure that it appears to be about 2/3 full, 20. We filled it to 20 each side. It holds 30. So you want to eyeball it and say, oh yeah, it's 2/3 full. If you had any doubts, like I said, run a dipstick down there. That was marked based on the shape of that tank. Would be marked so that you can estimate the quantity based on the level there, but we'll say that everything is good. We'll get the chock on that side, we'll get the tie down on that side. Let's get the pitot cover as well. Landing light. Nav light. While we're here, let's see, we got the strobe operating and the rotating beacon operating. Okay, we got no rubbing or catching on the aileron. Whoops. And the flap is nice and secure, doesn't move. We got a static port here. We want to make sure, yeah, no obstruction in that static port. Whoops. Does it simulate normal wear and tear bugs too? Yes, more in the engine than the airframe, but certainly yes. And we can do an engine overhaul or an engine inspection. You kind of want to troubleshoot engine problems with your run-up. You know, more so than an overhaul. You wouldn't really do an overhaul of the engine or overhaul level inspection of the engine before each flight. But you can go in the tablet and look and see what the exact condition of the airframe and engine components are. You know, certainly like the challenge is to kind of detect these problems based on the feel and sound of the engine's performance rather than, you know, some magic crystal ball that looks inside it. All right, I think that covers everything. We can go ahead and jump back in. Windows can remain open. We'll go ahead and close and latch the door. Iowa Scotsman is here. All right. So we didn't really have the pups careening out of control, but I did ask it to put them in, you know, equally silly golf attire, and so that has she actually looks like she's about to sell us some Girl Scout cookies. The boys do look fairly fashionable, though. And, yeah, so there they are, getting ready to drive us around for our trip on the Mountain Air Golf Resort. Okay, let's get the strobe light off, landing lights off. We can leave the nav light and the beacon on. We'll get the props and mix full forward. Run the fuel pump. Wait for the fuel pressure to come up. There we go. Once it does, nice summer day, so maybe only have to prime it 3, maybe 4 times. We'll do 4. Why not? Okay, we'll lock that. The throttle can come back down to about 10% in. I'm going to do right mag, left mag, both mags. Clear, 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 clear. Look out, we're actually going to start our plane now. Clear, clear, clear. Okay, we'll slowly advance the throttle. Okay, disengage the starter. Immediately back to 1,000. Oil pressure in the lower left came up right away. Let's lean the mix out right to the point where the RPM starts to drop. Okay, there we are. Okay, yeah, so we're good. Let's go ahead and get the avionics switch on. COM 1 nav 1 on, COM 2 nav 2 on. The transponder will go straight into altitude mode, squawk at 1200. For VFR, we'll go ahead and get the ADF on. And yeah, I don't use the engine monitor here. So just hit reset until it stops flashing red at me, but later on it'll flash red at me anyway, and I don't really worry about that. Alright, the field elevation here is 1,220, and the altimeter 3002. So let's set 3002 and check for 1220. So there's 3002. Yeah, 1220. Oh, perfect. Dead on 1220. We got Max EDLF. Max, welcome. We appreciate you being here. Thank you very kindly for the follow. Let's, so 240 at 7, so it seems like we want to take off in the southwestbound direction. We've got a runway 23, which is going to be basically right into the wind. So we'll set the, and we don't have the exact runway heading here, but 230 is close enough. And then we see from our first leg here that a 347 is going to be our on course. So basically a right crosswind turnout. Left-hand pattern is standard, but there's no other traffic around. We'll make some call-outs. We'll make sure we don't see any other traffic, and we'll go ahead and just make a right crosswind turnout, VFR to the north. So there's 230 on the arrow that will kind of line up with our runway direction. That way we can sanity check ourselves and make sure we're taxiing in the correct direction for our departure. And then we said 347. I'm just going to go 350. Yeah, we're headed straight into that direction. Oh, well, we may or may not be. Actually, I never corrected the directional gyro. So it kind of spins up into a random heading here. But this is the actual heading that we're facing, which is a 315. So now let's go ahead and disengage that and crank that back to where it agrees. Okay, So yeah, we're more perpendicular with the runway, so we're going to taxi over to our right shoulder so we can take off in the direction of over our left shoulder, and then a right-hand turnout to go almost northbound there. Next, we're starting at Cherokee County Regional, and we're knocking out the last couple of airports in the Atlanta ARTCC's Pilot Passport Challenge. So, Cherokee County Regional, and then we're going northbound. We're going to follow these roadways. We're going to pray not to get knocked out of the air by these storms, and we're going to hit Blairsville, DZJ, and we're going to hit that destination and then that destination to close out the challenge. It looks like we have Atlanta Center on now, so that's cool. Looks like we might be just barely outside of Approach's airspace. And we got Approach on as well. But since we are heading northbound, so here's the deal, guys. We're right on the boundary of the Approach's airspace, but we're outside of the Bravo, and we're in class Echo and Golf airspace, and we don't need to. If we're at a non-towered field, we don't need to talk to anybody really this entire evening. We're going to be outside of Bravo, Charlie, and Delta airspace the entire night. So we don't need to talk to anybody, but what we can do, just optionally, is touch base with the center controller once we get headed northbound, and we can request flight following services where they'll radar identify us, they'll give us weather information, they'll give us terrain information, they'll kind of track our progress toward our destination, and they'll give us traffic point outs or traffic call outs in case anybody's in our areas that we need to be aware of. And so it's a safer way to go, with the ATC being an extra set of eyes to make sure your flight's progressing normally. So we may do that just to have somebody to talk to. 3297. However, our initial communication will be on the Common Traffic Advisory frequency for this airport, 123.0. We'll go ahead and get that set over here. And what did I say Atlanta Center was? 3297. So we'll get that dialed in the standby. Actually, you know what we'll do? Let's get the Common Traffic Advisory frequency at our destination in the standby. 22.8. Yeah, we'll make Tim work for it. I'm sure he'll have something snarky to say to us as well. 22.8. So there's the Common Traffic Advisory frequency at our origin. Here's the Common Traffic Advisory frequency at our destination. And then 3297. We'll start by just monitoring them, just so we kind of have a sense of what's going on around us. But we'll be transmitting and receiving on the Common Traffic Advisory frequency for the airport we're at. But then we'll switch over to COM2 and we'll transmit and receive on that frequency once we're ready to talk to center. Ruby says, yeah, we got to do a courtesy check-in, right? Taking some capybaras to the mountains. No, it's so funny you mentioned mountains, CB Flyer. If we had been doing this flight on Wednesday rather than tonight, starting on Wednesday, or really starting tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow this time, is when terrain-based radio signal occlusion will start happening on VATSIM. So our radio simulation is all handled by a server called AFV, or Audio for VATSIM. Your pilot client and some of your control clients interface with it automatically. Other controller clients have a separate standalone tool that you interface with the voice system with, but your pilot client just automatically connects to it. But you can hear how that aircraft was really, really far away, but our center controller is transmitting from a tower that's closer to us. So we can hear the center controller really, really well, but the aircraft we couldn't hear as well. Well, starting on tomorrow, that signal degradation will also occur, not just from distance, but from distance and or terrain. So it'll be a little bit more realistic, especially in these mountainous areas where you might lose communication with someone because they don't transmit from a tower that can reach you. Those of us who like flying in mountainous regions are going to have a little bit more realistic considerations starting less than 24 hours from now. All right, let's get going here, guys. We can go ahead and set flaps for departure. Let's set trim for departure. Yeah, and CB says, I'm looking forward to Charlotte and Raleigh ground also no longer hearing each other. Yeah, we have the same problem at Dulles and BWI. So that's the other thing, is with the updated terrain occlusion, they're also doing a more realistic simulation of the various transmit powers of each transmitter.
Mistakes.
So, oh, Iowa Scotsman's trying to get some artwork done. Iowa Scotsman, yep, there you are. What do you got? We got me up at Mountain Air Resort getting ready to tee off, and we got the pups driving the golf cart. So let me know what you'd like to add to or modify about that image there, Mr. Iowa Scotsman. I apologize for missing that.
Clipper 19.
We need a beret? Okay.
Only 23 left, taxi off, limit on your head.
Qatar 7838, checking in with Atlanta Center.
Okay, doke.
Qatar 7838, Atlanta Center, maintain flight level 400.
Climb maintain flight level 400.
American 407, maintain 2109.
All right, let's get ready to go here, guys. Parking brake is off. Let's spin around this side, and we want to taxi out to, let's see, we want to taxi out to where the arrow begins, so we want to make a left turn up here. Where are we at?
6031, turn right.
Cherokee County traffic, Comanche 514 Delta Victor's taxiing out for runway 23, a VFR northbound departure, Cherokee County. And you notice I started transmitting while the center controller was talking. As I mentioned before, we're not on the same frequency as the center controller, so we do have a
turning eastbound is a 8320 out of 5.
Do have another exit up there. So we might have to back taxi a little bit. That's fine.
Okay, 407, roger, maintain 4,000, expect to follow.
Probably don't need a back taxi. We probably have plenty of runway length here. But just to be on the safe side, we will back taxi. And I'll tell you what, before we even do that, let's pull up here and stop, and let's go ahead and do a run-up. Since I've been sitting here idling in the Amering, let's do a run-up. I'll leave the mixed leans for right now. That'll help us burn off some carbon deposits while we do our prop lever check.
Fox 1631, clear is approach runway 18 center, maintain 180 knots or greater until a 5 mile climb.
Okay, now we can go ahead and go full rich with the mix. Readjust for 2000.
American 407.
Do a mag check on the right side.
Clear visual approach runway 18.
Lost about 100 RPMs. Back. Left side. Same and back. Hey, excuse me, sir. I'm going to get the tag on that thing. Okay, and carb heat check as well. We did see an RPM loss with the carb heat.
Clipper 1980, fly runway heading, runway 23 left, clear for takeoff.
Cherokee County traffic, Comanche 514 Delta Victor, back taxiing runway 23 for VFR northbound departure, Cherokee County. Okay, so we're going to just back taxi. It looks like there's a taxiway on the other side we can get onto and taxi down and you know, get some further length down, but
Qatar 7838, do you have turbo? I think I have.
looks like we're going to end up doing the same thing on that side that we just did on this side. So
7838, the only thing I got is extreme preset 12 o'clock and 20 miles. If you need to deviate around it, just let me know.
Oh, maybe that taxiway did go all the rest of the way down. Oh well. We're being runway hogs right now. That's okay. I don't see anybody coming in. I don't hear anybody coming in.
Go to 8972, line of center right.
Alright, so I got the strobes on because we entered the runway. Oh, I never did turn the fuel pump off. We want to make sure that the fuel pressure is able to sustain itself with the electric fuel pump off. Didn't do that. But now we've done that, but we're going to turn it back on for our departure here in just a moment. Also, Iowa Scotsman here is our revised slant artwork adventure with the beret now on my head as well. Yeah, so we could have crossed over and taken that taxiway all the way down, but oh well. But we got the fuel pump on, we got the pitot heat on. Cherokee County traffic, Comanche 514 Delta Victor's departing runway 23. We're going to be turning out, right-hand turn out to the north VFR, Cherokee County. Okay, mix full rich, props full. All systems are go. Takeoff power coming at you. Okay. Right rudder to keep the center line. 80 knots, or 80 miles an hour rather. We'll lift off. Keep the gear out until we're sure we're not going to need to return to the pavement. I think we're pretty safe on that now.
Clipper 1980, radar contact, stay altitude, maintain flight level 310. Clipper 1980 is 2,800, now climbing.
Okay, we'll very gently get that rudder input out. And we'll
Pitch at 907, Atlanta
the
Center,
RPM's off of the red line.
Weasel climb, maintain 16 knot.
Manifold to 24, RPMs to 24, flaps in, pitot. I'm sorry, pitot heat can stay on. Fuel pump can come off though.
You want 18 left?
Okay, pitching to 105.
American 407, you have the
Cherokee County traffic, Comanche 514 Delta Victor's clear, runway 23 on the right-hand turnout VFR northbound, Cherokee County. Alright, so we're turning around and we see some pretty bad storms to our west here. Still seeing storms ahead of us as we turn to the north and west. But let's continue the turn going around until we're on that green bug. And we take note that we took off just about quarter till the hour. And then as we get out, roll down on this heading, bump the manifold pressure to make sure we're still at 24. Okay, so yeah, we're kind of pointed toward an area where there's slightly lower terrain, but we should also be kind of looking for a roadway that we're going to be following here.
Redbird 619, cross 20 miles west of Kiwi, and maintain flight level 310.
The roadway, I guess, is east of the airport.
All right, 20 west.
Kind of comes up this way.
310, Redbird 619.
Alright, I'm going to level it at 3,000. You know, ordinarily you think of VFR altitudes as, you know, 500 above an eastbound IFR or 500 above a westbound IFR. So you think, you know, north and west we should be at 2,500 or 4,500. Well, below 3,000, at or below 3,000 above ground level, you can kind of not worry about that. And especially it looks like the cloud cover is going to preclude us from going up to 4,500 anyway. So at or below 3,000, and really the fuel elevation in this area, terrain elevation in this area is around 1,000 feet. So really, you know, at or below 3,000 AGL, you can kind of be at whatever VFR altitude you want to be at. So.
When able, proceed direct Spartanburg.
110, and we're picking up Spartanburg, so we're direct Spartanburg now for 1980.
Okay, so I've got the power back down to 22 and 22. We can lean the mix out until we're burning about 14 gallons an hour. 22, 22, 14, just some round figures out of the pilot operating handbook for a higher power cruise in this aircraft. Different values that you want to use for different atmospheric conditions, depending on the power level that you're looking for, and the fuel economy you're trying to achieve, and the engine longevity you're trying to achieve. But for me, 22 and 22 and 14 is reasonable enough round figures that I just use that every flight. do need to trim down. Get back to that 3,000. What happens in this aircraft is when you level off, it starts to pick up airspeed, and as it does that, it tends to want to keep climbing. So you gradually have to keep adding a little bit of down trim over and over again until it really stabilizes at its cruising speed, which will be about 170 miles an hour, aka about 150 knots. Okay, here's our highway, kind of going from over our left shoulder to ahead to our, over our right shoulder to ahead to our left. So that is most likely the highway that we're trying to follow here. And in fact, this does look like that Pickens County Airport right along that highway. So I would say we are right there. Matter of fact, let's blank out the.
Got a 458 Indianapolis Center's offline change advisory frequency approved is.
Blank out the guide points, and let's just navigate. As we pass each point here, I'll add another point, and we'll get an update on our distance and the direction remaining to our destination. And I would say we're pretty much right over top of that Pickens County.
Flight 650 with you, 22 miles to the south of the Curly intersection 430.
Flight 650, Atlanta Center, Roger, squawk 3643, maintain flight level 430.
Let's pop it into COM 2.
And just confirm 3643 for 4 flight 650.
See if Center wants to give us flight following services.
For 617, cross 20 miles, 20 miles west of Kiwi.
Started the key up, and then I heard he was keying up to talk to somebody. So
west of Kiwi, flight 0310, Redbird 617.
I'll try and catch him when he's not talking to anybody. Atlanta Center, Comanche 514 Delta Victor, VFR request.
514 Delta Victor, Atlanta Center, good evening, go ahead.
Howdy, we're about 5 northwest of Pickens County Airport at 3,000. Wondering if you're available for flight following to Blairsville. Stumped him.
Comanche 514 Delta Victor, squawk 5237, Atlanta altimeter 3002.
5237 and 3002, 514 Delta Victor.
South 1220 Atlanta Center, Roger, maintain flight level 380.
Okay, turning back to the north now.
514 Delta Victor, radar contact 55 north at Hartsfield Airport, areas of extreme precip 12 o'clock, and scattered along your present heading. Shouldn't be a factor if you go to Blairsville, though. Just advise if you need any more information on that.
Negative, we're good here, 514 Delta Victor, thank you.
Roger.
Yeah, obviously we got some heavy precip to our right, but we're not cleared. No, see that's the thing, Upshot. We're VFR. So he doesn't need to provide us a route. We're providing our own navigation. We're providing our own routing. We're providing our own separation from terrain. We're providing our own separation from traffic. So he has to advise us about weather. He has to advise us about traffic. But he is not responsible for providing us a route. So we'll do our best here to avoid the worst of it. We try and keep this road in sight. If we get turned around to the point where we're not sure where we've wound up, or if we need, if we end up deciding we have to go IFR, we decide we need to turn back, we need a weather update somewhere else, he can give us that, but yeah, he doesn't have to give us vectors. He can recommend a vector. You know, but he doesn't. He is not responsible for giving us any kind of a routing through the storm.
Flight 399, you need to offer.
Now, all that being said, if this was what the weather was really doing around us, I would never be flying in it. I would have been like, hey, you know what we're going to do today, friends? We're going to sit on the ground and let this pass. We're going to do a 4-hour stream of waiting out the storm. But since that's kind of boring, you know, we tend to push boundaries. I mean, the other thing is obviously we can control the weather. VATSIM rules are you have to keep the wind and the pressure and the temperatures consistent with others, so that those things affect your aircraft the way they affect the others around you.
24 Atlanta Center, enter contact, clear direct Weasels, climb maintain 16 down.
But we can modify precip, we can modify cloud coverage, we can modify visibility. Dr. Monocle says, as a center controller, I watch the VFR guys fly toward the weather. I tell them, hey, there's severe weather there, and then I watch them deviate 90 degrees once they see them for themselves. Yeah, that's probably about what our buddy Tim will see us do tonight.
620, cross 20 miles west of Kiwi at and maintain flight level 310.
Just got to make sure we stay, yeah, Upshot says, yeah, that sounds about right. Not surprising. Just to make sure we kind of keep this roadway in sight. I think that's that going over the next hill there.
Finding 111,000 of heading 0.
Upshot 833.
Meanwhile,
Atlanta Center, Roger. What's your assigned altitude?
We filed 310, but we request level 290 for now.
Upshot 833. What is your assigned altitude?
11,000.
Starting to get a sense of arrival plan at our destination. So it's an 8 and 2/6, 5,000 feet.
We'll cross 20 miles west of Kiwi at flight level 310.
Sorry, is that Redbird 620 reading back?
Hey, firm. Sorry, our COM 1.
Says wind is calm there. Let's plan on 2/6.
No problem. No problem. Up Jet 833, Atlanta Center, Roger. Climb maintain flight level 290.
Cross Hyperdrew, how are you, sir?
Climb maintain flight level 290, Jet 833, and we are heading 0-0.
Alright, so we're 8 and 2/6. I think we're going to plan on a 2/6 landing.
Shortly, just advise when you want flight level 310. American 1254, climb to maintain flight level 360 to lead speed restriction.
I am well, sir, except for the fact that I'm demonstrating stellarly bad aeronautical decision making right now.
360.
Other than that, I'm well. Hope you've been good. So here's the road that we're following. Comes up through this little slight valley, slight little depression in between the ridges there, and so we'll follow that. Yeah, I know, we're sharing the same brain cell. Indeed. Hey, it's a VFR stream in marginal conditions, but, you know, what I was saying earlier, I don't know if you were here, was that, you know, when it's a VFR itinerary on marginal VMC, you know, the alternative is, well, let's just, we'll do a 4-hour stream of us sitting in the FBO eating popcorn. Yes, Smokestack says, I don't know if you're going to be golfing in this sunshine, right?
Delta 9 or 68 Atlanta. Delta 943 Atlanta.
Smokestack wants to add or modify our slant artwork adventure. We're going to add some leather. I kind of figured that's where you were going with that.
American 943 Atlanta Center, radar contact, clear direct Gulfy, climb to maintain 16,000.
Atlanta Center, American 943, contact, maintaining 8,000.
American 943 Atlanta Center.
All right, so we got that coming.
American 943, 8,000, request
Crosses, that would be the most immersive stream ever.
43 active
Indeed,
Indeed,
right.
requested altitude, but your current instructions are clear direct Gulf, so you climb to maintain 16,000.
So we are coming up on the town of Blue Ridge, and we are coming up on this Blue Ridge Lake here. We can see that ahead on our right. So progress. We're checking our progress, and our progress is good. We're progressing on our progress here. But we've got a pretty good corroboration that we are where we think we are. That's a good sign.
Clear that to Berg at Jet 833.
So we can kind of add a point here. I haven't been adding, all these points all the way around. But looks like we're 16 miles west of our destination.
Atlanta Center, do you hear me?
I hear you 595. I've been trying to speak to you. I guess my comms weren't working. I just got the notification. We'll contact the departure in 133.475.
Very well. Have a good day.
You as well.
Delta 8792 to center maintain flight level 340.
Yeah. So,
340, Delta 8792.
Redbird 626, cross 20 miles
so
west.
Smokestack, that looks a little bit more like it, huh?
310.
Flight level 310, 20 west of Kiwi, Redbird 626.
Redbird 619, contact Jax 135.902.
135.902, Redbird 619.
Got a 4607, Houston's off, change.
Yeah, perfect day for golf, as the Scottish would say, right?
Number 4 Delta Victor, advise when you have Blairsville in sight.
Yeah, Cross Hyper says, yeah, my comms weren't working. Translation, the chat distracted
American
me.
943, climb and maintain flight level 230, delete speed restriction.
Maintain 330, American 943.
American 943, flight level 230.
Upshot says it needs to be raining cats and dogs. Well,
230, American
I
943.
don't know if raining dogs is going to be a good idea. We've already got the dogs. Alright, I'll work on that in just a second. We need to kind of be turning to about a 100 heading east of the lake here. I'm going to go ahead and set... Whoops, we had the 8 and 2.6 set on the arrow. But the green bug is set now to the approximate heading we are trying to fly.
Good evening, Southwest 603. We're 10 west of the Fermi intersection, climbing through 28.4 for flight level 350.
63, Atlanta Center, radar contact there. Have precip here to the inner above and extends for the next 20 miles. Advise if any deviations are necessary.
Copy, thank you.
Alright, and we're now at 5,000. We can start
At
descending.
850, Atlanta Center, right.
Field elevation is
Executive
1907 at Blairsville.
Going to the dark
So-
side, check jet 907, thanks.
The Redbird 617, contact Jax 135.902.
13592 and Redbird 617.
So 1907, so that means
Exec jet
2900 would be our pattern altitude. Looks like it's a standard left-hand pattern.
Collier to 310, accepted 460.
Oh yeah, there we go. Now we got some rainfall. Now it's great golf weather.
The Rouge, okay, I think I see here. Rouge, 420 Atlanta Center, good evening.
Just as the Scots intended, right? Yep, indeed. Yep, indeed. Alright, we do have this lake ahead of us here. I'm hopeful that the lake ahead of us is this Notley Lake, and it's just to the southeastern tributary of the Notley Lake that we are going to be looking for our destination.
3 Alpha Whiskey, post flight level 430.
So let's start to bring the power down here
Number 3 Alpha Whiskey, climbing
and start to descend, because we really are probably only about
American 943,
15 miles, if that, probably maybe about 12 miles
correction. American 943 Washington still online. Contact them 133.72.
Let's go to about a 19 and a 19. And a nice gentle descent underway.
Boucher 5313, Atlanta Center, enter contact, clear direct
And then
main,
right up, that
Flemington,
probably is
16000.
our airport right up there. Supposed to be just off.
American 943, contact Washington Center 133.72.
Right up in here somewhere.
American
He's having a time with American 943.
Gotta love the speakers.
So somewhere right in here. So we got the road, and it's
Redbird
just
620, contact Jack.
it's just south of and
135.92.
parallel to the road. Let's use our downwind sim binoculars. We see anything? I think it's this right here. Do we see if I saw
Redbird
a green
620, 135.92.
green flash there for a second, perhaps?
Boucher 5315, climb and maintain flight level 190, the lead speed restriction.
And it's just before,
American
so I do think it's like
did you
right
check
in
in
here.
yet?
Atlanta Center, 213 FV, 6500 for 140.
Set of 213, Atlanta Center, climb, maintain flight level 310.
Alright, let's let center know we need to cancel our flight following. 22.8's the advisory frequency we need to be on.
Contact Jax 135.92, good day.
Matter of fact,
The equipped for 19 areas of extreme precip.
Blairsville traffic, Comanche 514 Delta Victor is about 10 west of the field. We're at 4,500 descending, entering left downwind, runway
thank you. We're monitoring.
6,
no problem at this time
Blairsville, full
for
stop.
1980.
So even though we're still monitoring center, we're transmitting on the advisory frequency, but as soon as we can get a word in on center frequency, we'll let them know to cancel our flight following. I think this is our airport right here.
Atlanta, good evening. Sorry, some audio problems there. United 1024, flight level 370.
United, I don't see the United. What's the call sign one more time?
Alright, we're going to
United
spin
1024, we just flashed for you.
the props up. The power back down as low as we can.
24 Atlanta Center, thanks. You're better contact 40 west.
Yeah, there's our airport there.
Maintain flight level 370.
Maintaining United 1024.
Right, 1462 Atlanta Center, Roger. Charlotte altimeter is 2994.
Center, American 3123, 5000.
Right, 3123 Atlanta Center, enter contact, clear direct clean, climb maintain 167.
So we're kind of cutting right across the departure path, so this was not a real smart entry for us to take.
All I got static there, making 3123, 16000 direct queen. I still just have static there.
Center Comanche 514 Delta Victor, cancel flight following.
Fort Delta Victor, radar service turn ready, squawk base bar, please change first day.
Squawk VFR, frequency change approved, 514 Delta Victor.
Redbird 626, contact Jax 135.92, good day.
Okay, we can still listen to him. I put some predictions into the chat, guys, as far as the descent rate at the moment the wheels touch runway surface. No bot command necessary on the channel for this, just a number into the chat, positive or negative. We'll know the immediate descent rate either way. The closest prediction is going to get an automatic entry into our monthly landing rate raffle that will be drawn on our next stream, June 24th.
270.
Maintain flight level 270, equipped for 1980.
13592, Redbird 66.
Thanks.
Okay, so we got second notch of flaps in, we got the power back down.
We are at 12,000.
1 more notch of flaps to go.
176, Atlanta Center, climb, maintain.
Blairsville traffic, Comanche 514 Delta Victor left, downwind midfield, runway 26, full stop, Blairsville.
Going to 410.
All right, 1 more notch of flaps to go.
South 1220, Indy
Gears down in green.
Approved today.
48 south of us.
Center, Delta 962, level 370, 14 miles southwest of Monroeville.
Center 962, Atlanta Center, radar contact, maintain 370.
Maintain 370, Delta 962.
United 1140, you check in yet?
Yes, sir, United 1140,
All right, there we go.
At 1140, Atlanta Center, Roger, American 14.
Blairsville traffic, Comanche 5.
8 left.
Oops. Blairsville traffic, Comanche 514 Delta Victor left, downwind the left base, runway 26, full stop, Blairsville. Accidentally transmitted over the center of controller there.
Flipper 1980, Jax 135.902, good day.
13592.
ELW, yeah, the weather's not real favorable for a VFR itinerary this evening. All right, flaps are full.
American 3123, climb and maintain flight level 190.
Bringing the power back now. Don't want to lose too much airspeed, 80 knots or 80 miles an hour rather, where we want to be, but I do have a little bit of excess altitude, so we can drop and drop just a little here. But let's be ready to add some power back in.
Flight level 30, Delta 88, heavy.
German cargo 8027, Atlanta Center, Roger. German cargo 8027, you can expect it in 1 minute.
It looks like we'll roll it down and turn off to the left.
American 1150, Atlanta Center, radar contact, clear direct Gulf, you climb, maintain 16 down.
Up to 16,000 direct Gulf,
American 1462, flighting 240, to maintain 6,000, vectors to final.
Hey, just a gentle flare. Not trying to raise altitude again. Now see, overflared it.
Descends via Parker 5, landing south, Charlotte altimeter 299.4.
Yeah, I over control pitch in this aircraft very badly.
Emirates 256, did you check in yet?
Even at the very bottom of that green arc, it just seems like it's still very floaty.
24, Indy's off, frequency change approved.
You know, I guess I tend to fly it with just me in the aircraft, and so I feel like sometimes it really wants to be flown at an approach speed slower than what's on the gauge because it's lighter with only one occupant.
Wolf is checking in unanswered.
But I'm always hesitant to go too slow and then fall out of the sky.
11 Atlanta Center, the Charlotte altimeter 299.4.
But we did okay. Ultimately, we did okay. I did just pull the pitch up a little too aggressively. But I corrected that quickly that I felt like overall it was an okay execution there.
American 3123, Jax 135.902.
Okay, so let's get the RPMs to 1,000.
American 1150, climb and maintain.
Let's get the mix leaned out to the point right to where that RPM starts to drop. I believe I did get the flaps stowed. Strobes, landing lights, pitot, and fuel pump off.
First flight 3124, Atlanta Center, radar contact, clear direct.
And if we look at the passport challenge, we'll refresh in just a few moments, but we should have a stamp for that airport there for Blairsville in just a moment.
207, Atlanta Center, climb, maintain, flight level 360.
All right, let's see how we did.
360, thanks. Southwest 207.
Keystone 694, contact Washington 133.7.
Well, it scored us a 95 out of 100, with 37 being the number as we touched down. So, yes, I overflared it slightly, and then I had to let it settle back in. See how bad that is reflected. Yeah, I mean, you can see it. You can see that there's a dip, and then I come back up, and then there's a dip. But I mean, I guess I got that under control soon enough that it wasn't really dinging me for that. And then we really didn't have much of a crab angle. I had talked about in previous streams in this aircraft that, you know, I really need to start looking at like this rivet and the rightmost edge of this vent cover as the reference point for tracking straight, because I have tended to be looking at this cowl, but I think I'm being fooled by the parallax effect, where I really should be looking just straight ahead from my present position, in my eye position. And I think that worked a little bit better in this particular landing, because I wasn't fooled into thinking I had a crab angle when I didn't. What was it saying about the crosswind, actually? It says no wind data. Well, there you go. I had no wind data because I had no wind, perhaps. I don't know. But by the time we touched down...
Center, Roger. Yeah, it should be good on your IFR now. Maintain flight level 450.
Right on the center line. Right on the center line with no crab angle. So we'll take it. 37 is the number that you want to...
Lufthansa 8027, thanks for the reminder. Maintain flight level 340.
Be looking at there. And it looks like Bed Dave was the one that had the most faith. So Bed Dave will get an entry into our landing rate raffle. And again, that drawing is going to be happening on Wednesday's stream. We're going to be doing some VATSIM air traffic control somewhere within the Washington Air TCC, most likely the Chesapeake sector of Potomac, which is the one around Baltimore.
Update 833, radar contact lost. American 1462.
But wherever we end up,
Fort Charlotte in sight.
Part of what we'll do is we'll draw the landing rate raffle winner for the month of June. So Bed Dave at KDZJ on 24th, 22nd.
Flight 3086.
Drawing will be on the 24th. Entry was on the 22nd.
Once you front 4,000, or 4,000, we have CPDLC.
French flight 3086, minus center, rise, climb, maintain flight level 390.
390, French flight 3086.
All right, let's see whether we got our visit registered yet. There it is. So we've got one more to go. Golf Echo Niner Niner. So let's go ahead and put in our current position, KDZJ, and Golf Echo Niner Niner. We are going 27 miles to the east. We know the weather's bad, so I'm going to take the layer away just so we can kind of see the terrain. I think our plan is going to be northeast bound.
Vic 1462, fly heading 210, general localizer.
And look for this lake. Chattooga is what I'm going to assume. Chattooga Lake. I don't know if that's the correct pronunciation or not. But I think we'd look for Chattooga Lake, then we cut down to the south and east, and then we try to follow this tributary kind of in this direction.
Very 1462, line of clear.
Maybe to there. And then we follow that road to there.
I don't have radar on you yet.
And then that should lead us to Heaven's Landing. Okay, so I think that's our loose plan, but we know that the weather between here and there is very, very unfavorable. Yeah, so upshot, it's really cool. So we did we've completed every single book except for this next one. We've got the corporate pilot one done.
American 1161, expect visual 18 left.
Yeah, it's taking forever to load those in. We got the corporate pilot one done, we got the airline captain one done, and then if you look at the HCF VATSIM, they've got a pilot passport challenge as well with some different lists, and we can log into their site as a pilot and allow that. You guys know my full name and my email address already, so nothing I'm doxing myself there. But they've got 3 lists as well: Hawaii, big airports, Hawaii small
Where is it
airports,
at?
and then just the 5 airports in the area of Guam and the Mariana Islands. And so we've completed all of those, and if you look at the achievements, the medal for completing the Guam list, it doesn't load anymore for whatever reason, but we did complete all 3 of those as well. So tonight we'll be wrapping up the pilot passport challenges from Atlanta and Honolulu. But what we're working on now is called ZNI Flight West.
250 knots to Hartsfield altimeter 3000.
Alright, we cross
And
at 13.
I will log into that site with VATSIM as well.
At 250 knots and altimeter 3000.
And we'll go to the challenges. And so this one is very similar, but it's kind of like the next level up, because not only do you have specific airports that you have to do, but there are specific requirements to the flights, like they have to be a certain amount of distance, or you have to do an out and a back in order to get credit for this certain challenge. You know, we've got a number. So the Electric City Express, we did the New York metro area to Scranton, and then Scranton back to the New York metro area. Well, we've only done half of that so far, so it's keeping track that we've done part but not all of that challenge. This one here, we need to land at JFK, LaGuardia, and Newark. Well, we've only gotten one of those done so far, but it's keeping track of that as well. So so this will be the next one that we start chipping away at. But these 2 in Atlanta and Honolulu we've been working at for a while now.
American 1462, I still don't have you on my radar scope here, but I guess runway 18 left, clear to land.
All right.
Yeah, sounds good, thanks.
Atlanta Center, good afternoon.
So taking off runway, so wind is calm, we could just take off eastbound, that'll be easier. 45 left departure. So we'll take off, we'll flip the arrow around just for our own sanity's sake here. We'll take off on a runway 8. You know what else I didn't do?
753 with 410.
I didn't do that entire trip. First of all, I think I had the arrow set 10 degrees off just then, but I don't think I calibrated our directional gyro that entire trip. What are we? We're almost at exactly a 150, like maybe a degree or 2 short of a 150. Yeah, we're about 6 degrees off from that, so back that down. But anyway, so if we take off eastbound and then a 063 puts us on course.
1411, clear direct, Gulf. American 800, expect the visual, runway 187.
Melvin was trying to do the helicopter mission in St. Louis. Yeah, so that's the one cool thing about this, the New York one. The New York one, they added a whole bunch of challenges that are throughout VAT USA in celebration of the 250th anniversary of the country. So even though the purpose of these various sites is to encourage flights within the ARTCC airspace, but not necessarily to the single one busy airport in the ARTCC airspace. The New York one, because of the 250th anniversary celebration of our independence, they added a whole bunch of kind of iconic trips throughout the U.S. as their what they call their 250 challenge. So cool of ZNY to do that and encourage certain iconic trips outside of their airspace. Alright, so field elevation here is 1907. Altimeter, according to the METAR, is not listed. 3007, okay. So 3007. And 1907 is the field elevation, but we're showing about 25 feet shy of that. That's fine, close enough. A lot of Melvin wax was used that night. Yeah, he tends to go through a canister or 2 of that from time to time. All good. Let's go ahead and reset our trim. Set flaps for departure. We got altimeter set. We got directional gyro set. I think we're getting ready to go here, and we'll just depart out to the east. Yeah, the ad's funny, and the ad was done. The song, I think, was done by Jeffrey B. And then the video for that was done by Downwind Sim. So very much a team effort to get all that done. And we are so... Okay, so we're transmitting and receiving on 122.8. Real quick, what's the advisory at Heaven's Landing? So there's not an advisory frequency listed for Heaven's Landing, which means it's 122.9.
Alpha 603, descend and maintain flight level 270, transition
We'll
to
get that ready to
310
go.
knots or greater.
Transmitting and receiving on 22.8. We will be transmitting and receiving on 22.9, but we're monitoring the center frequency at 3297. I know, that is a brave ramper indeed. A lot of trust, a lot of misplaced trust on that one.
Transition to 290 knots or less.
Down to 270, we'll transition to 90 or less.
Blairsville traffic, Comanche 514 Delta Victor is going to be taxiing for a runway 8 departure VFR to the east, Blairsville.
Southern Express 8270 should be fine there.
I'll tell you what, we're already on the east side of the airport. Actually, are we? I can't. It looks like we got plenty. We got plenty of runway to that side.
Atlanta Center, climb to maintain flight level 430.
We'll depart from the intersection of the ramp.
American 800, fly heading 130 to center maintain 7000.
130, American 800.
All right, we're going to forego the run-up. Mix will go full rich there. Strobe, landing lights, pitot heat, and fuel pump.
350, South of 36.
Blairsville traffic, Comanche 514 Delta Victor is departing runway 8 intersection departure from the west end of the ramp, VFR eastbound, Blairsville. Okay, don't see or hear any other traffic.
Whiskey, you want to create a call? 3 Alpha Whiskey.
Yeah, we probably could have back taxied and done with a little bit more runway, but Cherokee's a pretty good short field performer. We're okay here. Oh, we got plenty. Look at that. I got plenty.
Oh, no problem.
All right, pitch to 105. Gear can come in. Yeah, I'm not sure about this weather, guys. Feeling like this is a dumber and dumber decision.
Atlanta Center, American 202, we're checking in at Skyway at flight 330.
Good Fixins is here.
American 202, Atlanta Center, Roger, cross.
Flaps and fuel pump.
Maintain flight level 290.
And let's back the
cross comedy at
back the power down.
290, American 202.
All right, well, what do we do, guys? What do we do?
800 to center maintain 4,000.
Do we scud run it in these mountains? We change the itinerary. I'd really like to continue to do this.
American 800, you can stay on that heading as long as you want until you join the low, or you can start turning in now. Clear to visual approach runway 18 center.
And airborne at 825.
Yeah, it's always on that arrival to chop and drop, so let's see if it works. Data 8821, Memphis Center's offline, change advisory for exit approved.
Okay, gears up, flaps up, fuel pumps off.
Yep.
And we're going northeastbound 12 miles before we get to Chattooga Lake.
Center climb and maintain flight level.
So here we go is where we have to give the disclaimer over and over again. Would I be doing this if it was really these weather conditions? Would I be doing this VFR? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. This is a great way to die. In the sim, we always walk away from our landings. In the real world, this would be a great way to end your life.
Contact Washington 133.72. American 1611, fly heading 240 to set and maintain 5,000.
We'll press on. We'll see. We'll see just how stupid we can be, huh?
American 14622, I might have you back here. Ident to set and maintain 3,000.
Yeah, I'm not even completely convinced I can see the ground.
South 6003, contact Jax 135.902.
3590 Southwest 603, see you, great night.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like maybe we got a valley here. We can hopefully see the lake on the other side.
Blue Streak 5555, Atlanta Center, only 18 center, taxi via Echo.
But if we go kind of bouncing off of
Number 2 Alpha Charlie Jackson.
a ridge here, you know, I almost wouldn't be surprised. A little bit of a valley up to our left.
Over to Jack, have a great night, United 1024.
And then maybe we can try to navigate to the lake from there.
1611, maintain 210.
A little bit of a hole in the weather there too. Let's follow that.
American 1462, radar contact 8 east of the Charlotte Airport.
We got this road that kind of goes east. That may be this.
Thanks.
And if that's the case, then maybe it leads us to our lake on the other side, and we can follow our lake to our destination, which would be miraculous. We do have some tiny little holes in the weather here. I think I got a lake here, guys. I think we do have a lake. This is too funny. See, the bad thing... I missed the transponder code there, upshot. I was concentrating on not dying. If the bad thing about pushing the boundaries here and pulling this off and getting to our destination in one piece, it almost seems like it encourages it. You know what I mean? But I mean, you know, you can certainly take a ton of chances in the sim that you can't take in the real world. And I always end up kind of feeling bad about these streams where we go, well, hey, it's a VFR itinerary, we're going to do it in very borderline weather conditions, you know, and then we end up pulling it off, and it's like, well, hey, you know, we didn't die, so there's your lesson. You can do this stuff and then not die. I'm impressioning your poor young mind. Yeah. No, so that's when I feel the need to constantly repeat the disclaimer of don't try this at home and don't try this in the real world.
ZTL 423 Atlanta Center, Roger.
I do think we are at Chattooga Lake if we follow this tributary down to the south and east. I think there's a chance we can navigate it to our destination.
Walk 6611, Delta 1954 6611.
Squawk 6611, Delta 1954.
Rouge 428, contact approach 133.47.
Your IFR ticket's still wet, yeah. Well, then you know there are better options than what I'm doing now. Speaking of things that are wet, our slant artwork adventure, for those of you just joining us, we've got me teeing off here at Mountain Air Resort. And it's a little wet there, too. A little stormy there, too. And if you want to add to or modify that, you can cash in 500 of the Twitch channel points, aka the Alphabets points, there at the bottom of the chat panel. And then let me know how you'd like to add to or modify that image. Alright, so I think we're at the... So we got the little tail end of this lake down here.
Southwest 36.
So now we want to try and follow this tributary on about a 077 off of that. So which is that? Is that, so if we go 7577, so looks like it's
587, guys.
This direction here, maybe?
587, land center right. American 1611, instead of maintaining 3000 now. Do you have a cloud layer as well?
It's gonna be a bright,
American 720, reduce speed to 180, then
bright,
maintaining 4000.
sunshiny day.
American 1611, do you have the field in sight? American 1611,
so we're trying to follow a road and stream. I don't see the stream, but it does look like we've got a road here that goes approximately
American 1611, cleared
in
island,
a
runway
77 direction. I'm gonna turn toward the bug, and I'm gonna assume that this is the road.
55, runway 18 center, clear
I mean, we might be better pressed to just descend and skim the road and just almost maybe actually we just land and drive the road.
American
That would
720 to 718,
almost feel safer right now. I'm going to go 3 miles north and east, and then it should kind of turn south and east.
American 1462, 7 miles from Eagle, cleared ILS, runway 18 left approach, maintain 180 knots to Eagle.
Okay, so we got north and east. I think I was saying west a minute ago. North and east, and then south and east is what I meant to say.
American 1611, runway 18 left, clear to land.
So if that's the case,
Jet 511, climb and maintain flight level 430.
7 miles south and east, and then we should see the tip of Lake Burton there.
Atlanta Center, Allegiant 979, 58 miles northwest of the Holton Mountain DOR, checking in flight level 370.
Allegiant 979, Atlanta Center, squawk 3410.
On about a 130 or 134, really.
American 202, descent via Phillips 5, landing south, Charlotte altimeter 299.4. Copy, we'll descend via the Phillips 5 and company altimeter via Yankee, American 202. American 1462, maintain 180 knots till Eagle, runway 18 left, clear to land.
Can't see at all.
American 720, 8 miles from Eagle, cleared ILS, runway 18 left approach.
I have a feeling we're about to skip off of a rock here.
Maintain 16,000.
I have a, wait a minute.
Blue Jet 5565, clear jet Queen, maintain 16,000.
Direct Queen up to 16,000, Blue Jet 5565.
Yeah, this is not going to end well. This is it. This is going to be the crash right here.
Got a 850, contact approach 133.47.
Alright, I'm going to go into a blind climb. We're going to cross our fingers. We're going to go into a blind climb and just see what happens when we come out on top of this. If we come out on top of this.
Hello, hello. Looking for 670, climb through 11,000 for flight level 140.
Just keep the pitch up. Yeah, right?
1646, Atlanta Center, contact 410.
Contact flight level 410,
Yeah, that was near-death experience right there. I'm surprised that we did not bounce off the mountain. However, I do think we found the lake we were looking for. Alright, so if this is indeed Lake Burton,
Runway, join Charlie.
then what we're looking for then is the bridge on the northeast side of Lake Burton.
American 1611.
Yeah, that should have been straight to VX. Yeah, you're right. I was focusing on getting the power set and maintaining an up angle. I was in hard IMC. I was just like, okay, just focus on the attitude indicator. Make sure you're not falling. But yeah, you're right. Immediate pitch to maintain VX would have been the safest thing there. Not that there were any terribly safe options, but that would have been the safest of the dumb options.
That's 207 for exchange group.
But point toward blue was the most important thing I was trying to achieve there. We did it. So if we are indeed on the north end of Lake Burton, which I'm not 100% certain, we've got the bridge here. We're going 5 miles north and east of the bridge on about a 062 is our destination. So we'll switch common traffic advisory frequency to 22.9er. Evans Landing. Right click, open a new tab. 22-9er. 5 and 2-3. I feel like 2-3 is probably going to be what we want to land on.
Thunder Express 8270, contact approach 133.47, good day.
And field elevation there is 27, so we want to go to 37 for our pattern altitude. So is it slightly to the right or slightly to the left? I feel like it's slightly to the left. Oh, there it is right there.
Metal 176, contact Washington 133.72.
Evans Landing traffic, Comanche 514 Delta Victor's going to be a left downwind for runway 23, full stop, Evans Landing. Okay guys, you can start putting some predictions into the chat. Predictions should not be death or no death. Predictions should be a descent rate in terms of feet per minute at the moment the wheels touch runway surface. No bot command necessary on this channel for that. Just a number, positive or negative. We'll know that you mean a descent rate. Either way, whoops, didn't mean to go flaps, meant to go gear. Gear we can do at 150, flaps we can do at the top of the white arc.
720, travel to park.
Alright, let's get the props spun up so we can start getting speed under control.
Atlanta Center 45 Alpha.
Get power back down.
4000.
Okay, now we're in the white arc. We can go flaps 1.
Sheriff, this is no time to panic. This is a perfect time to panic.
Jack 135, this is Ladder 2. Wish 525, great job, yep.
Kind of go around this little ridge here. Evans Landing traffic, Comanche 514 Delta Victor's left downwind midfield for runway 25. Evans Landing, full stop. Second notch of flaps. Fuel pump can come on. Alright, mix full, props full.
120.5, good day. 120.5, good luck.
Evans Landing traffic, Comanche 514 Delta Victor's left downwind to left base, and then we'll be turning left onto final for full stop at Evans Landing runway 23. I think we're coming in shallow. I'm going to add a little bit of power back in here. Well, maybe we're okay.
Center, good evening. ZTL 22,300, Common 4000.
Didn't really square off that base turn real well. It's okay. Alright, and then let's just try not to over control the pitch on this one here. Last call for the predictions.
Checking it out, coordinating. Who is it?
598 with you.
Feel like we got a little bit of a crosswind to control for on this one.
Was there somebody else checking in?
Confirming ZTL 906, level 14000, heading 115.
ZTL 906, Atlanta Center, clear direct Colliers, climb maintaining flight level 290.
Direct Colliers up to flight level 290, ZTL 906.
Oh, and all of a sudden we're falling out of the sky. A little too slow, like I said. Alright, we got it back under control here.
Checking in your plane.
Fortunately, we got a nice long runway. But let's get that sorted out.
1152 Atlanta Center, climb maintain flight level 370.
That's the 370, Delta 1152.
American 7, if you're still up, 120.5, contact shuttle approach 120.5.
Yes, it keeps floating. I keep pulling power out, keep pulling power out. Yeah, exactly.
Gate 9. Gate 10. Gate 13.
Oh, goodness.
Gate 14. Gate 15. Gate 23. 24. 25.
Global Sky 753.
Man, that was a fight.
135.9 or 2.
I know, most would go around long before that. No, I know. We don't go around on this channel.
Global Sky 753.
We're gonna go right back. We're gonna go around and go right back into that storm. We shouldn't have been in the first place. Yeah. Now we had a 5,000 foot runway that we only needed 1,000 feet of, but generally you don't want it to be the last 1,000 feet. Flaps can be stowed, strobe, landing light taxi, P-tone, fuel pump off, parking brake on. Was that a great landing? Well, yes. We walked away and we can use the airplane again afterward. Upshot. Those are the two criteria. The 2 out of 2 on the Jaeger scale. A very efficient taxi as well. I know, off-schedule descent says, I take back everything I ever said about you being a CFI MEI after watching this. I know, no, it was you missed that entire leg off-schedule descent was basically a leg-long lesson in what not to do. Holy cow. Alright, I can't wait to look at the telemetry for this one. Heavens Landing traffic, Comanche 514 Delta Victor, clear, runway 23. Heavens Landing. I think I even gave you the clear call, but if anybody else is battling the weather to come on in. Alright.
Delta 27, Washington's off, we get to change crew today.
It gave me a 70 out of 100. 0 points for touchdown zone. Severity penalty.
Approach 120.5.
Late touchdown. 64% of the runway exceeds 60%. It gave me an additional 9 points off because of that horrendous horrendous performance there. Everything else, the scores were good, but man, it dinged me a lot for the late touchdown, as it should have. This is a Touchdown FX, by the way, is the name of this app. It is only available for flights in 2024, not for 2020, not for X-Plane. But yeah, so here we are, and yeah, you can see how badly I over-controlled, leveled out, and then I was really trying to, you can see I was really fighting the crab angle there. Now, I'll tell you what, by the time we touched down, 5 knot crosswind, not too bad, but hey, by the time we touched down, crab angle was pretty well sorted out. So I'll at least say that for myself. But yeah, look at this roller coaster. We leveled out, we came down, we leveled out, oh, started to rise up again, and then we came down and touched down finally. Woof. Awful. Awful. I told the developer, like, one additional modification they could make to their scoring system is if you begin rising and then descending again during your approach, it ought to ding you for that. It doesn't. But it definitely got me for the late touchdown here. Big time. Took a bunch of points off for that. Like I said, as it should have. 75
Indianapolis Center's
was
offline,
the number that you all were looking to predict, 75 feet per minute upon touchdown. Did you get predictions in? We got 88, 99, 77 from Upshot, 43, 70 from Mad Noob, 40, 74 from Off Schedule. Wait a minute, what was the actual? 75. So we had a bunch of you guys right there in the 70s range.
1963 with you at 14,000.
Yeah, 1963 Atlanta Center, climb and maintain flight level 350.
Climb and maintain flight level 350, United 1962.
Yeah, 70 is passing. 70 is a C minus CB flyer, right? Mad Doom says it was well after I said last call. It came before the touchdown though, so I always say last call just to give an opportunity to account for the buffering that might be happening. Really, it's gotta be in before the wheels touchdown. So I'll double check that after the stream and see. But it looks like off-scheduled descent. If we do need to go to the second, what was it? 75 was the actual. So Upshot would be second place finisher there if off schedules was too late. But I think it came down before the wheels touched. The reason I say that is because it looked like it came in before Good Fixins hit the long landing sound, which happened while I was still floating. So I think we're okay there.
Jet 423, descent of Possum Discretion, maintain flight level 240.
But I'll double check that one after the stream.
250, Jet 423.
Okay, well.
423, Possum Discretion, flight level 240.
Got one more leg to do. I am one raffle ticket short. I gotta go get another one out of the drawer, but I'm also going to take a little liquid recycling break. I'm probably going to need to change the underpants after that one anyway.
That's 45 off, let me know on your back. Paper.
Yeah, 74 was almost bang. 75 was what?
Approach 133.47.
Yeah, 75 was what registered, so 74 was just one off there.
Delta 587, Atlanta approach 133.47.
Yeah, you got, so I always say last call, but that allows a few moments for guesses to come in before the wheels touch. So I think we're good there. Our slant artwork adventure. So we started the slant artwork adventure with me getting ready to do a round of golf at the Mountain Air Resort up in just north and east of Asheville, North Carolina, which is going to be our final destination, which we will get underway to here once I get back from our liquid recycling break. However, we've made a few modifications to that artwork just to represent what's happening on the stream tonight. So there you go. There's our current slant artwork adventure, and if you want to cash in 500 of the Twitch channel points, aka the Alphabets points, then you can add to or modify that slant artwork adventure. While you contemplate that, I'm going to take a little liquid recycling break, and then we're going to take off from Heaven's Landing, and we're going to head up to Mountain Air Resort, just north and east of Asheville, North Carolina. So we got one more leg left to do, guys. Lots of exciting flying left to do. We're going to see how many hills we can bounce off of between here and there, and we'll get to that in just a few moments. Sit tight, friends.
Delta 1954, Atlanta Center.
Sorry about that.
1954, no problem. Just Jackson, what's your 1,000 higher or 1,000 lower? Which one do you want?
You got 1,000 higher.
1954, climb maintain flight level 360.
Climb maintain 360, that was 1954.
Jet 906, connect Jax 135.902.
4592, Jet 906, connect.
Delta 45 Alpha, we're back. Roger.
Yeah, 1963, request that way for about 5 minutes.
And 1963, let me know on your back.
Sure.
Legion KCNI-79, you tend to maintain flight level 270.
Delta 270, lead 979.
Delta 1954, thanks for your help, Jax 135.902.
135, that was 1954, have a good day.
Delta 1646, Indy Don, change your advisory frequencies approved. Delta 1646, frequency change approved.
Frequency approved, Delta 1646, thank you.
Atlanta Center, American 6 is descending through flight level 290 or 240.
American 6, Atlanta Center, descend via Parker 5, landing south, Charlotte altimeter 29904.
Was that for American 6?
American 6, stay firm, descend via Parker 5, landing south, Charlotte altimeter 29904.
Okay, via the Parker 5 and landing south, got the METAR. Thank you, American 6.
Atlanta Center, good evening, American 207, with you at the flight level 360.
Greg 207, Atlanta Center, descend via Parker 5 arrival, landing south, Charlotte altimeter 29904.
Parker 5 arrival, Charlotte altimeter 29904, American 207.
American 598, comply with the previous restriction, then descend via the Banker 6, landing south, Charlotte altimeter 29904.
Okay. Ford Bravo and no restriction 590.
Heading 571, Atlanta Center, right?
United 1963, back in the greatest cockpit in the world.
Roger.
Atlanta Center, Delta 3047, 4000.
Delta 3047, Atlanta Center, climb maintain flight level 290.
Climb maintain flight level 290, Delta 3047.
Vision 979, contact Jack 135.902.
3592, Allegiant 979, thanks for the ACC.
ZTL 423 is going to maintain 13,000, Knoxville, altimeter 299.4, more than 1 hour old.
Sorry, what's up for ZTL 423?
ZTL 423 is going to maintain 13,000, Knoxville, altimeter 299.4.
It's going to maintain 13,299.4 for the altimeter, ZTL 423.
Maintain 300 knots, so by
300 knots, still advised. Main 16.
Alright, back with you, friends. And by the way, I forgot to, or I neglected, I won't say forgot, I will say I neglected to recognize a little earlier that with Good Fixin's resubscription, that's a 60-month resubscription. That's 5 years of subscribing to this channel. There's not really that many more months you could have subscribed to this channel. However, there's, I guess there's 84 months worth, right? 84? 96. We're coming up on our 8th anniversary. We're going to be celebrating that a week from tonight? Yeah, a week from tonight. We're celebrating our 8-year anniversary. We're going to do a couple of hops in the Lear 35 from Fly Somewhere down in the Caribbean. We're going to collect your predictions for the descent rate upon touchdown. We're going to award you points for how accurate you are. We're going to give you 500 points for a perfect guess. We're going to do 500 minus the difference between however far off you are from the actual in terms of your guess. And then over the 2 landings, the top 3 scores out of 1,000 total are going to get gift cards in the amounts of 100, 50, and 25 for our 8th Streamiversary celebration 1 week from tonight. So do need to be present for both landings in order to qualify. But if you are here a week from tonight, you know, 175 total dollars worth of gift cards available to you in terms of prizes for that evening. So we did finish the Atlanta Pilot Passport Challenge. You saw it flash up on the screen as I clicked on it just before I left the room. This is the Bug Smasher Challenge, but we do now have all 3. We got Airline Captain we completed back in January. We got Corporate Pilot we completed just last month, and then just now Bug Smasher completed. So all 3 of the Pilot Passport Challenges on the Atlanta website now done. Just a couple weeks ago we completed the last ones in the Honolulu Control Facility Pilot Passport Challenge. So the next one to move on to is the New York Flight Quest Challenges. So we'll be working on those kind of bit by bit. Matter of fact, on Friday, we'll be landing at LaGuardia at the end of our stream, and then a week from Wednesday, we'll be landing at Newark for our stream. So coming up, you know, we're going to be chipping away at those New York challenges kind of bit by bit. And eventually we'll get a few of those done. But yeah, very cool. Thank you to everybody over at the Atlanta ARTCC who designed and put that on, as that's been a real fun challenge for us to be working on. Well, here was our second flight path.
Contact Charlotte approach 120.5.
20.5.
You know, departed out to the east, and I guess we wound up tracking more or less what we intended to track, did we? I mean, the goal was to come into Chattooga Lake kind of to the left of this little, you know, finger bang shaped tributary.
Delta 962.
Yeah, we didn't do too bad. I'll tell you what, we do need to kind of get rolling as quickly as possible for our final trip, and the weather in this area is really looking scary, although it looks like we might be getting out ahead of it. And as a matter of fact, if we do Golf Echo 9er to 2NC0, doesn't look like it's that bad. We might be able to traverse right up through a kind of a hole in it. However, the complicating factor is now the weather's moving in through my area. So this is pretty much where we are, and yeah, we got it bearing down on us right now. So if I do suddenly lose stream, I used to have a battery backup connected to the system. I'm waiting for a new battery for that battery backup, so I don't presently have one. So if we get a power blink, knocks me off the stream, I am going to go ahead and call it a night. I'll get on social media from the phone just to let you guys know I'm okay. But if the stream suddenly disappears because of a power blip or whatever, we're just gonna call it a night. We'll finish up we already finished up the Atlanta challenges, but we'll work in a trip back to Mountain there later on. But for right now, we'll give it a go. We'll keep our fingers crossed that the power here at the studio holds up. But it looks like the weather might be clearing up. We might be lucky enough to find a hole in the weather to get going in. So it looks like if we floated all the way down to the west side of the runway, so if we take off eastbound, that's what I think our plan will be. Let's real quick run through a briefing here. I think the plan would be to take off to the south and east and follow that road there. The kind of right-hand turn out to a 135. Again, I'm going to get rid of the weather radar just because it's, we know it's bad. We'll track up north and east, and we'll look for this Lake Jocassee. From there, we'll skirt east of the highest of the terrain, and we'll come through the Asheville class Charlie, and then once we're clear of the Asheville class Charlie, we'll try to follow this road north and east, and then this we've done on the stream a number of times before. Through the town of Asheville, north to this point where the road splits off to the north and east, and then once we get up to Bald Creek and kind of over this way, then we can kind of circle around and land to the north and west there at Mountain Air. So that roughly represents our plan for the rest of the night. Again, as long as the power holds up here at the studio. So let's go ahead and calibrate the altimeter. Field elevation 2,735. Pretty close to what we're showing. And the directional gyro, we're parked at a 010, maybe a 011 or thereabouts. So I'm sure we got to rock that back a few degrees. There we go. We're going to take off on a runway 5. And a 135 is going to be our on-course. On-course, so basically a right-hand crosswind turnout.
Before arrival, Hartsfield, altimeter 3002.
So 22.9er is the advisory frequency here, and Mountain there being a little private strip, probably the same. Oh no, 22.725 up there. So we'll get ready to.
10,304, 14,000 feet.
513, Atlanta Center, climb maintain, flight level 350.
Climb maintain, flight level 350, Delta 513.
Okay, and then let's get
Atlanta Center, the Charlotte altimeter 29.
lap set for departure. Let's get sim trim set for departure.
0.5.
Over to shallow approach 10.5, thank you so much. And see you next
And there we go.
Fiat out of 4-5 Alpha, contact Washington 133.72.
Oh, I was sitting on the ramp that entire time without the mix leaned out. So we'll do a run up before we...
4-5 Alpha 133.72.
133.7.
We'll do a run up before we get rolling here.
Flight Center, hello, Delta 1220 Heavy, maintaining 14,000.
At 1220 Atlanta Center, climb maintain flight level 410.
Come maintain flight level 410, Delta 1220 Heavy.
United 1454, yeah.
Evans Landing traffic, Comanche 514 Delta Victor taxiing out for runway 5, departure eastbound VFR, right-hand turn out to the south and east. Evans Landing.
And Center, United 1454 Heavy with you, flight level 140.
This guy's,
1454,
not only is he driving on my taxiway, he's on the wrong side of the road. He thinks he's in Britain. Alright, let's do a run up here to 2000.
Jumbo 2147, cross shipper at maintain 13,000, Hartsfield, altimeter 3002.
Run the prop lever down. Normally I do this with the mix lean down, but I just forgot the mix, lean the mix. So, we'll just make the best of it here. Okay, mix would go to full rich at this point if it wasn't already. Let's do a carb heat check. Okay, carb heat does seem to incur a drop. Let's make sure the mags lose about 150 on that side. That's kind of the most you want to lose.
Alright, cross lots at and maintain 11,000.
And a little bit more.
002 in Savannah, 8 Juliet Bravo.
A little bit more than 150 on that side. So yeah, it seems like we picked up a couple of little deposits, but we're within spec. We're going to go ahead and yellow it.
We'll go direct Savannah after lots for 8 Juliet Bravo. Thanks.
Evans Gate Landing, Comanche 514 Delta Victor's departing runway 5, VFR eastbound, southeastbound, right-hand crosswind turnout, Evans Gate. Alright, we got plenty of runway, so we'll pitch to the VY of 105. Strobe, landing lights, Ito, and fuel pump.
Hey man, I'm doing my job here, alright?
Get out my DMs, bro.
I'm not in them today.
Delta 3047, contact Jax 135.902.
135.902, Delta 3047, good night.
Okay, 80 miles an hour, we'll rotate, up we go. Pitch to 105.
2422,
We'll pull the gear in once we are sure we don't need to return to pavement.
2422, Atlanta Center, climb maintain flight level 350.
Climb maintain flight level 350, Delta 2422.
Current hour 35, cross shipper.
And then flaps in once we've got a sufficient combination of altitude and airspeed to feel safe.
We'll cross side clipper at 13,000, Korean 3580.
Fuel pump can come off as well. And then we want to turn to the south and east as soon as we feel safe that we can here. Where? Guess we don't have a whole lot to say.
Contact Jacksonville Center 133.32.
Don't have a whole lot to say as to when that is. I guess maybe this is a little channel we can follow.
November 808, Juliet Bravo. Have a great day. Thanks for the service.
Evans Landing traffic, Comanche 514 Delta Victor clear of runway 5, VFR straight out, and now turning to the southeast, leaving the area. Evans Landing.
Are you back yet? United 1963 Atlanta.
The RPM's down off the red line.
2147, contact approach.
Manifold pressure to 24 as well.
15047 for JetBlue 2147. Thanks for controlling. Have a good day.
Okay, we're down on that 135 course. We really just want to follow this until the terrain levels out, and then we'll just kind of turn out to the north and east here.
737 Atlanta Center, climb maintain flight level 330.
Climb maintain flight level 330, Delta 737.
1 Hey, we're really not looking to climb anymore, so let's just go ahead and get our cruise power set, 22 and 22.
So 1761, I can get you 1,000 feet higher, 1,000 feet lower. Let me know which one you want.
Okay, the previous method, go up. So we'll go to 360.
Okay, 22, 22, 14, plenty of fuel left. We did pick up this little highway going south, and then as soon as the terrain flattens out, we'll turn east. So what did we pick up here?
FedEx 571, I guess our direction of flight we need to
Probably this highway here.
FedEx 571, I'll get you descent here in about 100 miles.
Roger, FedEx 571.
Thunder American 9er is with you, just leaving flight level 360.
American 9er, Atlanta Center, descend via Parker 5, landing south, Charlotte altimeter 299.7.
Hey, we're going to cut out to the
Parker 5, landing south, 299.7, American 9er.
north and east.
Atlanta Center,
Not to really not to a specific heading. I'm going to go ahead and set the arrow to 3-2. That's going to be the landing direction that we use out there. Almost assuredly, possibly to flip it around to a 1-4, but almost always land on a 3-2 there. And then our overall direction of travel is intended to be about a 060 to a 065.
Let me know when you're back.
So we'll do our best to track that in between the
United 196.
in between the downpours.
About 10 minutes.
United 1963, is that?
Correct.
Alright, let me get a handoff going, stand by. Set you up 423, descend and maintain 10,000, safe approach request.
14,000, and we would like the RNAV runway 28.
Set you up 423, roger, descend and maintain 10,000.
20,000, 423, sorry for the delay, response.
22.
Korean Air 35, contact the line approach 133.47.
Manifold to 22.
Up to approach Korean Air 35.
Good evening, Walker 35 with your flight level 350.
Walker 35, Atlanta Center, maintain flight level 350.
Okay, so 22, 22, 14 gallons an hour.
350, Walker.
And trimmed out for 4,000 feet. Now you'd kind of consider that an IFR altitude. Really, we should be at 35 or 55 for VFR eastbound. If we are safely able to drop to 35 here in a little bit, we can. When you're within 3,000 feet of the ground elevation, however, you can kind of throw that out the window. Anywhere VFR between 0 and 3,000 AGL is kind of considered acceptable.
Okay, exit 423.
But if we are able to get to 3,500 here in a little bit, we can do that.
Alright, 5,000 until Pigeon 4. So
I don't know exactly where I am, but we are essentially just tracking eastbound, northeastbound along the southern part of the Blue Ridge Mountains there. And then when we see this lake, Jacassi, we'll know. With no uncertainty, we'll know where we are.
Greg 1, Atlanta Center, radar contact. United 1963, Washington 133.72.
133.7, thank you so much.
Beautiful rainbows all night.
Atlanta Center, is American Server 560 at 36,000 feet with you.
Happy Pride Month.
American checking in at 360. What's the call sign again?
Dominican 0560.
Yeah, lost a
Atlanta Center, Delta 23.
couple hundred feet. Oh, okay, there I think we got our big lake now. This lake, it's a very huge, sprawling lake that comes all the way down here. As a matter of fact, it looks like it's several lakes strung together. Lake Kiawe, and Lake Jacassi, all kind of connected maybe?
Exit 423, we're reaching the end of our waypoints. Can you vector us to runway 28, please?
Exit 423, after your last fix, you're supposed to be proceeding direct to destination airport. Do you have that?
Alright, we'll direct to the destination airport.
Okay, so here's the southern portion, and up here the northern portion. Okay, so we're good. We can kind of turn. You know, again, we're going to turn wide just to make sure we stay wide of the worst of the downpours here. Oh, it's another one with a problem with the autopilot. There seems to be an epidemic tonight. See, the way I avoid having problems with the autopilot in this aircraft is I don't use it. I cannot say I'm having problems with the autopilot. I can only say I'm having problems with the pilot. Which in this aircraft and this pilot is not unheard of either.
Atlanta Center, American 2839 is climbing 9,200, 1,000.
American 2839, Atlanta Center, climbing, maintaining flight level 230, delete speed restriction.
230, delete speed restriction, American 2839.
Got a 1494, approach 133.47.
Going to approach, that's 1494, good night.
Good night, Walker 35, descent of Possums, crashing, maintain flight level 240.
Coming into some rain here. Navigating around the worst of the downpour, but we do have some rain falling. But it looks like this is way better weather than we were in earlier.
Object 801 Atlanta Center, roger, radar contact. Is that a 2398 that you check in?
Earlier weather looked like this.
Okay, Atlanta, did you check in yet?
Alright, now, one fun thing, so this is probably like the kind of the fatter area of Lake Tracassi. We need to kind of start looking at how will we know when we're in the or approaching the Astral Class Charlie.
What is descent now to flight level 310, please, good right now.
310 for Dominican 050.
So what we should probably do, honestly, is let's go ahead and check in with Atlanta Center. We'll give them position and an altitude. We'll request flight following up to Mountain Air to November Charlie 0.
Over to approach, American.
And once we are in two-way communication with the center controller, who is also doubling as the Asheville approach controller, you've established that two-way communication, then we're good to go into that Charlie. So I think that's the battle plan here. Let's figure out where we are. We're west of Sugarloaf, 112.2. We're going to be west of Sugarloaf by how far?
To get to the runway, that would be fine.
The lowest I can get you down there, I mean, I don't know, let me find out here.
What I'm trying to say is
not registering a distance to it yet. We're not receiving it yet.
You're direct to the airport, yeah?
We got another one that's closer, maybe? We north and east of Foothills 113.4.
No visibility at all.
Schedule 423 to set a maintain 6,200.
So we're 19 northeast of Foothills VOR.
Exit 423 and we'll look out for the field.
Center $1.46, 14,000.
Grandpa Rex is here. How are you, Grandpa? I can hear the thunder outside. So I don't live in the area where this weather is occurring, but in my area we got a storm front moving through. Again, if the stream does blink out, I will not be resuming it tonight. We'll call it a night. Fingers crossed that doesn't happen.
Actually, never mind. We just came out. We'll check here first.
Okay, from Lake Tracassi, we kind of want to track a 040.
Affirmative, now we do.
Jet 423, clear visual approach to the Pigeon Forge Airport.
Grandpa was just skimming through Twitch, so Atlanta ARTCC has what they call the Pilot Passport Challenge. So they were challenging you to visit a bunch of airports in their airspace that were not Atlanta Airport, not Atlanta Hartsfield. And they got 3 different lists here. As of tonight, we have finished all 3 books. So when we go to achievements here, we'll let it download. Well, there were little badges that load up there. So we've now completed the entire thing.
Dominican 560, descend and maintain flight level 240.
Yeah, kind of a cool thing that the Atlanta ARTCC did and the Honolulu Control Facility did, just to encourage traffic to other places in the airspace other than its one major busy airport. And so tonight we kind of wrapped up, caught the last couple that were still on our list.
Pigeon Forge Airport, report cancellation of IFR or misapproaches frequency.
Kind of want to be turning to the northeast here. I think we're passing right where the dam is, so we're a little further south than what I've marked.
Exit 423, once you touch down, just make sure to call me for IFR cancellation.
Roger, we'll be doing that to go back to Destin. Exit 423, thanks for the help.
Alright, and we're still well south and west of the Astro Class Charlie. Yeah, we were talking about that, Grandpa Rex. New York made one that's a little bit more like complicated. Instead of just visiting X, Y, and Z locations, you have a bunch of specific challenges that you have to complete. You know, a certain flight between A and B, but it's got to be at least X number of miles, or a certain flight to Airport B, but it has to be from a destination that's at least X number of miles away. Or there's some that are like a series of airports. You have to go A, B, C, and D airport in sequence. You know, they've got a bunch of different ones. Yeah, we've been looking at those as well. All right, let me put the narration on hold, guys. I got to check in with Center and get into two-way communication with them before we get into the Astro Class Charlie airspace.
Yeah, Center goes 875 at level 330.
875, Atlanta Center, Roger. At a 1660, Atlanta Center, Roger. Cleared to the Atlanta Airport of Eric Glavin. To join the Glavin 1 around.
All right, let's see. What direction are we from Foothill? Atlanta Center, Comanche 514, Delta Victor VFR request.
United 1963, contact Washington 133.72.
I was monitoring his frequency, but I was transmitting on COM 1. So, he didn't hear me at all. Atlanta Center, Comanche 514, Delta Victor VFR request.
Got a 1660, maintain flight level 330 for now. 514 Delta Victor, Atlanta.
514 Delta Victor, 28 miles northeast of the Foothills VFR 5500 VFR. We're looking to transit the Astro Class Charlie, northbound.
514 Delta Victor, right next squad 4720, the Asheville altimeter 3004.
4720 3004, 514 Delta Victor.
Dominican 560, descend maintain 1000, Greer altimeter 2999er.
I will do at the same time. Can you say again, please, for Dominican Certified Security?
Dominican 560, 1000.
Okay, back to 22 and 22.
1000 for Dominican Certified Security.
And 14.
That'll 2398, yup.
Atlanta Center, Delta 1535, level 140.
Got a 1535, Atlanta Center, climb maintain, flight level 360.
Drop back down to 55 as best we can here.
At 835,
tracking
at I-4, arrival Hartsfield, altimeter.
Kind of northeastbound is what we intend to do.
On the altimeter and return via the conductor arrival.
I mean, honestly, if we want to keep track of our position here, we can use the Foothills VOR.
2340, Atlanta Center, climb maintain, flight level.
Yeah, let's do a little bit of point bearing distance to keep track of where we are, guys. That'll be fun. Let me get pointed at a low valley here, roughly in the direction we're trying to point. I think this will be kind of along our path to Asheville.
Redbird 619, Atlanta, yep.
We got to probably need to adjust the calibration on our directional gyro here in a minute, but the
Atlanta Center, Delta 2060, flight level 340.
VOR will work either way.
726, Atlanta Center, Roger.
So let's take our path, let's blank that out. Let's see, where are we right now?
Redbird 619, Atlanta
Point bearing distance, we tuned to the Foothills VOR
level 410 within the next
on 13.4. 33 miles out on a 041. 33 miles out on a 041. So we're at ODF
Was that actually
041 033. Okay, so that's where we are right now. So we want to be tracking 040 to kind of head toward Asheville. Yep, and that's what we're doing.
I'm sorry, what are you calling United Sport Pieces for heavy gun?
Sorry, what's the call sign?
United Sport Pieces.
We can cross-check it. 112.2. We should be receiving that now. 112.2. Yeah. Okay. Now, what direction away from that are we? North and west. Something like that.
Atlanta, good evening. American 305, 1,500, climbing 1,600.
American 305, Atlanta Center, climb maintaining flight level 230, delete speed restriction.
230, delete restriction.
Almost south and west still. So from Sugarloaf, SUG.
2997,
From SUG, we're in a 242 and 30 miles.
Victor, radar contact 30 south west of the Birmingham Airport. Correction. Asheville Airport, transition to the class Charles approved. Let me know when you're clear of it.
Roger, transition approved, and we'll let you know when we're clear. 514 out to Victor, position checked.
1220, frequency change approved.
What do we say? We're at 241 and 30 miles. So SUG 241030. Okay, so yeah, we're still right along in here. So we want to be tracking on about a 045 to head straight to Asheville.
1589, Atlanta Center, climb maintain flight level 380.
Do we have a little lake here on the sectional? That might be a little bit too small to show up on the map. Or maybe it's this one here. Let's look at Transylvania Community Airport. Maybe we can see that. Just east of that.
Who's checking it?
We have a little lake, and then we have a community airport just to the east. I don't see it, but that doesn't mean it's not there. Got this windy road to the west of that lake that we're kind of following.
Yeah, 3084 Atlanta Center, radar contact.
Yeah, this here, and then it straightens out and kind of goes straight to the airport. So if this is the correct road, heck man, we should just follow that straight into the airport.
133.32.
133.32, FedEx Flight 71, bye-bye.
See American 305, contact Washington 118.902.
Hi, Grandpa. Thanks for checking in, man.
118.902, American 305.
Go to 2422, frequency change approved.
Frequency change approved, Delta 2422, connect.
Atlanta Center, Redbird 620, flight level 430.
Number 620, Atlanta Center, Red.
Atlanta from Upjet 801.
Upjet 801, guys.
Hey, are you running CPDLC tonight?
Yeah, I am.
Alright. We're logged on as well. We'll let you know.
Roger, yeah, I don't see it on my side yet. It might be bugging out some beta program.
Okay.
Delta 513 is okay if we step away
just to update our position. Let's see. From Sugar Hill, Sugarloaf Mountain.
5 minutes.
What it's called?
That's proven on your back.
Whatever it is, SUG, whatever the SUG is. Oh, I'll tell you what. So I'm steering a 035.
Let's see what's the
Looks like we're about a 033, so we're not too far off there. But from Sugarloaf,
walk to 35.
we're out from that on exactly a, well, we'll call it a 249 and 22 miles. Let's plot another point to represent our current position. SUG 249022. Okay, yeah, we are indeed following this road, so that's good. We're tracking what we think we're tracking. It's always reassuring. Picking up some extra altitude, I think we can drop it back to 5,500 here.
Cross Bama at and maintain flight level 200. Bama at C20,
RPM's 22. Manifold 22. Mix. About 14 an hour. Seb Partitu is here. Seb, how are you, man? We were talking about you, but not really. We were talking about the Honolulu Control Facility Pilot Passport Challenge, which we finished up earlier this month, and then tonight, just a little bit ago, we have finished up the Atlanta Pilot Passport Challenge. We're going to finish up tonight with a trip up to Mountain Air Resort up in, what's it called? It starts with a B. Just north and east of Asheville. Burnsville, North Carolina.
Verify your standard on the altimeter.
That's so funny. I never put two and two together on that. We got Burnsville and Asheville related.
2992 for Delta 1000, and you have me at 28-2.
Yeah, I got you 28-2. Do you have real world weather on?
Yeah, it should be limited.
Alright.
Seb says it's my job to maintain the passport challenge, so I guess you did. Yes, indeed. All right, well, very good. Yeah, we've finished up Honolulu a bit ago, and then we finished up Atlantis tonight. We're just going to ride on up to one of our favorite general aviation spots in the Blue Ridge Mountains here in North Carolina, Burnsville, North Carolina, Mountain Air Resort. That is our slant artwork adventure for the evening, by the way, as well. It was a beautiful day to go golfing at Mountain Air Resort in our beautifully vintage golf outfits. But it got a little stormy, and if you had seen the earlier part of the stream, you would know why we chose to make that modification to the slant artwork adventure.
8,000 and fly direct to right for final visual approach with the minigun approach check.
Are we over top of Asheville now? We're getting close.
Delta 1000, what are you altitude to show?
Delta 1000, still sure you at 282, might take a second update.
Copy, and what's the speed?
497 over the ground.
Okay, copy, ground check, so altitude's still off.
Yeah, try reconnecting real quick if that works.
1000.
So 265
November 7th, Sierra Lima cross
and 14 miles.
1000 Birmingham altimeter 3002.
SUG 265014, just as a cross check to our position. Yeah, we are just south of the Asheville airport now. Oh, yeah, we are. We're right over top of it. Heard a little boomer outside of my window here.
35.
So again, fingers crossed so we don't lose power here at the studio.
6,000. Let me know when you have career and airport in sight.
6,000. Walker 65. I'll let you know.
Center Delta 1000 altitude check.
The 1000 is still showing off, so just squawk standby, and I'll go coordinate it with the next sector.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and disconnect and see what the problem is. That's a little bit too high for me, so I'll see you later.
No problem, thanks for calling. Got a 1535 message is off, frequency change approved. Delta 1535, frequency change approved.
Okay, so tracking now due north. Is there another nav aid we can use, or it'll just be off of Sugarloaf Mountain for the rest of the track? Now we can.
Washington 133.7.
We want to follow this road to the city of Asheville, and then we're going to follow this highway kind of north and eastbound.
Planet Center, good evening. Endeavor 5130, 14,000.
Drop it back to 5500.
Climb maintain flight level 320, Endeavor 5130.
Redbird 619, should we get 15 out?
Which Redbird?
619.
Dance approved, let me know when you're back.
Okay, and we got a stream that kind of zigzags east and west.
Got
on the highway here.
Approach 133.47.
3347 for Delta 1660.
I don't know if I see that stream. Oh, maybe this here.
105 heavy, 30 miles south of Cedar, Puzzle 320.
FedEx 105, line of center action. Delta 737, contact Washington 133. Actually, it might have. Stand by, I need to coordinate if that's the correct sector. Stand by.
Dr. Sanford, Walker 35, airport in sight.
Alright, sorry friends. Kind of just looking all around, trying to corroborate my position. Looks like we got the city of Asheville here, we got the highway to our west. And that's going to kind of, we got some ridges off to our north and east that we're going to be following.
Mark 35, clear visual approach, runway 22, runway 22.
Yeah, that ridge off to the north and east is what we're going to be taking here. So we're going to try and catch this highway that goes north and eastbound, and then once we see it continues up into the ridge, but there's a road that kind of goes off to the north and east, and that makes this nice sweeping 90-degree turn. That's what we're going to be looking for.
Okay, that 875, approach 133.47.
13347
In the meantime, we're passing over the city proper of Asheville. We might be coming up on the point where we're clear of that class Charlie airspace. Let's update our position from the VOR. There's a cloverleaf exit there.
Approach 120.5.
Yeah, I think we're right over top of like this interchange. So we're close to being outside of the Class Charlie airspace where we can let the center controller know to drop us from radar. Let's do another reference off of Sugarloaf VOR.
1589, I need you at 390 or 370 as your final. Which one do you want?
315 and 18 miles. So if we're now at Sugar 315 018. We've just left the Charlie. Alright, and let's track north and eastbound.
Chevrolet 85 Atlanta Center Roger.
Here's our highway that we want to follow. Center 514 Delta Victor, we're outside of your Charlie now.
514 Delta Victor, squawk VFR, frequency change approved, see you right.
Alright, VFR, frequency change approved, see you Tim, 514 Delta Victor.
Yeah, 8325, 534.
2272, but we want to switch. So we're still listening to the center frequency just for situational awareness. But we're monitoring, we're transmitting and receiving off COM 1, which is 122.725. Why did we choose that frequency? Well, because it's the common traffic advisory frequency at Mountaineer Airport. So when we get in the pattern for that, we're going to announce on 122.725 each portion of the pattern that we are entering. But we're monitoring the center controller just for the situational awareness, and we do want to be tracking north and east. And then there's a ridge that's going to bend around to the east, and this is all looking very, very familiar. We've done this a number of times on stream, but it's been a while since we've been up here. And we'll keep 5,500. The field elevation at Mountaineer is 4,400. So even though 5,500 feels nice and high now, Mountaineer, it might be like it's possibly like this little dip. It's not too far away.
Frequency. I don't have your tag yet. Roger, Charlotte passed you over. Yeah, well, he wasn't supposed to. We'll talk to you in a bit. Okay. November 37 Zulu, descend to maintain flight level 240.
Descend to maintain flight level 240.
But this might be it, or it might be the next one over from that. We're not very far at all now. RPMs.
So 1589, contact Jacksonville 135.902.
22. Manifold 22. And
1589, 135.902.
14 gallons an hour.
Atlanta Center, low Delta 2051, climbing through 13 now.
Sounds like Atlanta Center just went through a shift change.
Got 2051 Atlanta Center, climb maintain, flight level 360.
Climb maintain 360, Delta 2051.
Atlanta Center, America 7, we're going to try this again with you at 12,002 per 16.
American 7 Atlanta Center, climb maintain, flight level 220. Or correct, 210. Atlanta Center, just at 420 IFR to Destin. We're at Gatlinburg. American 7, climb maintain, flight level 210.
210, American 7.
Okay, so
2 Kilo Charlie, level 360.
So here's that highway. It cuts out to the north and west. And then there's a fork off of that that goes to the east, and I
We have
believe...
airport inside. We are clear to land when you say.
Dominican 560 or correction. Clear visual approach or 922 or 922.
Yeah, so the highway goes to the north and west. This road goes to the north, and then it cuts off, like, rounds a corner to the east.
United 8325 Atlanta.
Atlanta, go ahead.
United 8325, descend via the Jedi 4 arrival, the Atlanta altimeter 3002.
Send via the Jedi 4 arrival out, Atlanta altimeter 3002.
And United 8325, what are you direct to right now?
Where are you going?
Skywalk.
Alright, let's just do this. United 8325, correct to Jedi.
Direct to Jedi, United 8325.
Atlanta Center.
Somewhere in there, like maybe here. Maybe here. We'll recognize it. Once we get on top of it, we'll recognize it.
Gallenberg, Center request to mine. American 7, contact Jacksonville Center 133.32.
133.32, American 7.
Okay, so here's this road that comes up here, and then it should bend out to the right.
American 1727, 9,500 for 17,000.
Yeah, so I think that we're over this split right here. Let's see if we can do one more reading off of Sugarloaf VOR to corroborate that.
1727 Atlanta Center, delete the speeds, call and maintain for level 230.
We're off of Sugarloaf VOR at a
Atlanta Center, Redbird 620.
335 at 28 miles. 335 and 28.
Approved, report back.
Trug 335-028.
Our 2 Kilo Charlie
Yep, we're right over top of that interchange. It's perfect. This is working out great.
Alright, descend via the Jedi 4, 3002, 2 Kilo Charlie.
Okay, so there's the highway going north and west. Here's the road that we want to follow up to the north and then around to the east.
Walker 35 taxi to park via your discretion.
And Mountain Air is going to be right in here somewhere.
Taxi out discretion on Walker 35, this way to
United 3834, contact Jacksonville Center 135.902.
3592, over to Jack, United 38042.
So yeah, Executive 420, cleared to the Delta Tango Sierra Airport as filed, maintain 10,000, departure of the frequency squawk 3104, hold for release.
Alright, once we're right over top of that bend.
Flight main route, climb 10,000. And
right over top of that bend, we're 7 miles north and west.
Call me number 1 for the runway frequency change approved.
So I'm going to go ahead and start making my calls here. Mountain Air traffic, Comanche 514 Delta Victor 7 north and west at 5,800. We're going to join a right downwind runway 32, full stop, Mountain Air.
133.72.
3372, American 1727 via.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll follow this road to the east. And then it'll be About 5 miles ahead on our right. It's in this nook. I don't think it's in this first one. It might be. Yeah, there it is. Is that it right there? That's it right there. Unless it's one more over. I thought it was right there, but
who's calling?
Atlanta Center, American 3123, 10,000.
American 3123, Atlanta Center, runway 18 left, is center 18, 3000.
19, 3000, 18 left.
Atlanta,
right
America,
there.
10 miles, 18 left.
America 1, Atlanta Center, 18 left, clear to land.
20 left, clear land, America 1.
along in here somewhere.
Atlanta Center, blue ship 5316, 1800.
There's a road that's gonna come off to the south.
65315 Atlanta Center, runway 18 left, from left heading 030, maintain 4000.
Left heading 020.
It's gonna just kind of pop out at us. I think that is it right there.
Legion 2706, contact Jacksonville Center 135, 102.
Alright, we're gonna yank the power down here.
Atlanta Center, Robert 620 back.
Mountain air traffic, Comanche 514 Delta Victor's 5 miles north and east. We're gonna enter a right downwind for runway 32 full stop mountain air. You guys can start putting some predictions into the chat as far as the vertical descent rate at the moment the wheels touch runway surface. No bot command necessary. Just a number into the chat, positive or negative. We'll know that you mean a descent rate either way. And
not yet. Got a 2060 cross Aussie 12000.
Closest prediction gets an automatic entry into our landing rate raffle, which we're going to be pulling on Wednesday's stream. The June landing rate raffle will be pulled on our very next stream. Yeah, that's going to be it right there.
12,000 Aussie 25 or not.
Atlanta Center does a 459 flight level 320.
Number 370.
Yeah, we're going to spin the props up a little higher.
3002.
It's going to help us get the speed down. First notch of flaps in. We already have the gear out.
Atlanta Center, Delta 2348. Turning wave can get a...
Oh yeah, here's the little road I was looking for, and then it's right turn off of that road.
2348. Sure, the center maintains for level 240. I'll have that for you here in a sec.
Thanks for help.
Second notch of flaps, we got one more to come in.
Center Frontier Flight 662, we're checking in with you 144,000.
Frontier Flight 662, Atlanta Center, call maintain for level 340.
340, Frontier Flight 662.
I'm going to flip the VOR to something that we're not receiving, just so I get a little bit more of a clear, easy to read guide. Runway 32, okay.
At a 240, that's 4.
There.
Endeavor 5130, rotor service terminated, frequency change approved. Endeavor 5130, frequency change approved.
I'm having trouble keeping track of where it is.
American 31, 23 for left heading 200, join the localizer, report to field and site.
There we are.
Was that 3123?
Hey, for American 3123, turn left heading 210, join the localizer, report to field and site.
210, 260, join the local eyes, report to go to flight American 3123.
Mountain Air traffic, Comanche 514 Victor's right, base to final, runway 32, full stop, Mountain Air.
For traffic, maintain flight level 300. 2051, maintain flight level 300.
Maintain 300, 2051.
American Bloody.
Clear, Charlie 6.
Okay, it's not that there, it's this up here.
Texas Park, Charlie Golf, American 1, Charlie Golf.
Charlie Golf, American 1.
Blue 653,
I'm lost.
15 from left, heading 350.
I'm not lined up for the right thing.
Got a 459 cross tripper at and maintain on 3000, the Atlanta altimeter 3002.
Yeah, no, I'm low.
3000 and altimeter 3002 for 459.
2 Kilo Charlie, turn 30 degrees left, maintain 8000, the Atlanta
Mountain Air
altimeter
traffic, Comanche
3002.
514 Delta Victor is going around. We're going to make right close traffic, runway 32, Mountain
2
Air.
Kilo Charlie, maintain 12,000, 12,000.
12,000, 5 degrees left.
Yeah, I think I got lower than I thought I was.
Figure indicated airspeed.
Doing about 290 right now.
2 Kilo Charlie, maintain 250 knots.
Alright, 250, 2 Kilo Charlie.
Okay, but there it is. We're going to just do a right close traffic. We're going to go once around.
619 is back.
Welcome back. Atlanta Center, just 420 Alpha, runway 28 ready for departure. Back to 420 release for departure. Your release void in 5 minutes. Call me no later, 10 minutes with intention. Frequency change approved. Alright, we'll call you in about 5. Good bloody contact.
Mountain Air traffic, Comanche 514 Delta Victor's over top of the runway. We're going to join a right closed traffic to runway 32, full stop, Mountain Air.
Got 2348 clear.
Yeah, I think I was reading the altitude gauge off by 1,000. I thought I was still 1,000 feet above the runway, and I think I was turning almost level with the runway, which is why I was suddenly having trouble finding where it was.
2348.
Got a 2348, descend and maintain 16,000, turn left heading 360.
Alright, turn left 360, down to 16.
So if you guys that put in numbers, if you want to keep those numbers, you can keep those numbers. If you want to put in a new number, you can put in a new number, but only the second number will count. Anybody who didn't put in a guess yet, you are more than welcome to put in a number.
Lima, expect the visual on a 24, clear direct to the Birmingham Airport, descend and maintain 5,000, report to field and site.
Alright, 44. Coming up on 54, 55.
Approach 133.47.
33.47.
2 Kilo Charlie, need 30 degrees left, please.
Okay, we got gear down still.
Left for me.
We're in the first notch of flaps.
30 degrees left, 2 Kilo Charlie.
Yep, 30 degrees left.
Alright, 30 left, 2 Kilo Charlie.
Okay, we're on our right crosswind.
Okay, 01, contact the actual center 135.
Mountain Air traffic, Comanche 514 Delta Victor's right crosswind for runway 32, full stop. Down there.
Okay, 801, contact the actual 13592.
Is that rotate 801?
13592.
3592,
Still now having trouble seeing it.
Normal speed heading 360.
But at least now we're at the right altitude to see it.
Yield inside, American 3123.
American 3123, Clippers approach 20 left for the land.
For the visual, 18 left for the land, American 31.
District 53, 15 for left heading 200, report to field and site, join the local advisor.
Mountain Air traffic, Comanche 514 Delta Victor's right crosswind to right downwind, runway 32, full stop, Mountain Air.
20 left for the land.
For the visual, 18 left, clear the land for runway 18 left.
Alright, let's get down to our downwind and then let's look over and make sure we can see it. So this is that road I was talking about, kind of lines you up for it. So far I feel good.
Okay, 2 Kilo Charlie, the instruction was a left turn. I'm showing you turning right, heading 360.
Alright, what do you want me to do, 2 Kilo Charlie?
2 Kilo Charlie, turn right, heading 270.
Right, 270, 2 Kilo Charlie.
Now I can't find it at all.
Atlanta Center, getting you up to 1240 with you, flight level, correction with you.
We're at 55, we're 54, 5500. Maybe I just need a little extra altitude so we can see it, even if we've got to come in from a little higher.
United 8325, contact approach 133.47.
Contact approach, United 25, good day.
Spaced Colors is here. Spaced Colors, welcome.
133.47. Over to approach 33.47, that's 4 for now, too.
Center Delta 2051, can we continue climb at 36?
Alright, where are we? We're more eastbound here.
Delta 1240,
Oh, I think I've missed that road to the south. Missed that. There's the road to the south that I was trying to get on, so let's get back on that.
133.47.
Over to approach, 2 kilo shot.
Rubber 617, frequency change approved.
Frequency change approved, Rubber.
We VFR, yeah, we are.
Maintain flight level 360, frequency change approved.
Yeah, there's the road to the south, and then the airport will be on our right.
Got a 2348, descend and maintain 8,000 from left headings at 270, vectors for the visual 1 loft.
Okay, so once we get leveled out here, it should be on our right, and it's not
got
that.
2348, descend and maintain 5,000 from left heading 270.
Yeah, down here should set us up for it.
270, Delta 2348.
This is the road.
23 from left heading 030, maintain 4,000, say the reason.
We're headed south and west. Am I just in the wrong spot? This is the road I thought kind of led us up to it.
3123, we're going around.
Yeah, okay. What's the reason for left heading 020, maintain 4,000?
020, got on signal.
Alright, let's drop the power out. I feel like this road that comes along these little treatment plants here, this is the right road. But now am I like way too high? I'm so confused.
United 105, frequency change approved.
Frequency change approved, United 105.
United 105, frequency change approved.
Frequency change approved, FedEx 105 heavy.
Is this it right here? I think that might be it. Mountain Air Traffic, Comanche 514 Delta Victor's right base to right, correction, right, yeah, right base to final, runway 32 full stop, Mountain Air.
Delta 3000, heading 200, instructor localizer, Delta 2348.
Whew. All right. I think that's where we're going. Let's not lose too much altitude now. There it is.
Atlanta Center, Delta 2348, what's our landing runway?
All right, last call for the predictions, guys. If you put one in already, you want to keep it, just keep it. If you didn't put one in already, you can put one in. You got time. Got to be in the chat before the wheels touch, but if you're buffered a little bit, you would definitely want to put it in now. Okay, there we are. Props full. Mix is slightly lean due to the altitude. And let's get the speed backed off now. Mountain Air Traffic, Comanche 514 Delta Victor is final now, runway 32 full stop, Mountain Air.
160 is running mobilizer, Delta 2348.
American 3123 from left heading 350.
Okay. Overshot, but we're correcting.
American 3123.
But let's not drop out of the sky completely.
American 3123 from left heading 350.
Man, this is a tough little spot to find, man. Fuel pump on, should have been on already.
Atlanta Sierra, Civic 420, are we good for release? Vector 420.
Very stiff crosswind here.
Oh, you did? Rapper 619, frequency change approved.
Yeah, Rapper 619.
Yeah. Down to 2060, contact approach 133.47.
I'm gonna go try that one more time.
Second, was that 133.47 for Delta 2060?
It's always like this.
3347, Delta 2060. Have a good night.
It's always like this. There's always a crazy crosswind at this airport. It's never down the runway.
You're supposed to be at 250 knots to the left below 10,000. Do you have the airport in sight?
Airport in sight, cylinder 250, Delta 2348.
2348, Clippers approach, runway 18 left, runway 18 left, clear to land.
Mountain Air traffic, Comanche 514 Delta Victor on the second go around. Right close traffic, runway 32, full stop. Down there.
Center?
Yeah, we'll take center, Delta 2348.
Alright, Delta 2348.
Yeah, I thought I was going to stick it in. It was just a little too sideways there.
American 3123.
We'll have to control for the crosswind a little bit better. But at least now I've got a refreshed spot in my mind in terms of where it is and how to spot it.
420. Yeah, I've released you already. I released you like quite a while ago, so. Sorry about that. For flight 662, frequency change approved.
Alright, let's not get too much altitude here. 57's already a little too much.
American 3123, cleared visual approach, runway 18 left, runway 18 left, for the land.
Let's keep the gear down. We're not picking up too much speed.
Everett 626, frequency change approved. Yeah.
Okay, first notch of flaps is good. We'll do that.
Everett 626, frequency change approved.
Mountain Air traffic, Comanche 514 Delta Victor's right crosswind to right downwind, runway 32. We'll stop down there.
To the Charlie Echo Whiskey VOR. Alright, climb 433 and direct the crest to VOR, exit 420. Everett 620, frequency change approved.
16 for the 620.
Yeah.
Alright, so this is where I think I got confused and I went past, yeah. Okay, so we want to kind of go down this road that goes down to these treatment plants, and then the resort's like right over here. The fog is going to complicate matters even further. Let's tune that VOR to something that's not even in the area. Alright, third time's the charm, hopefully, guys. Once again, if you already put a number in and you want to keep it, just don't say a word. If you haven't yet put a number in and you want to put a prediction in, please feel free to do that. If you did put a number in but you want to change it, you may change it, but only the second one will count as your guess. Mountain Air traffic, Comanche 514 Delta Victor's right downwind to right base, runway 32, full stop, down there. Yeah, there we are. Alright, so we need to keep the nose way over to the left. Here it is up here. Alright, third time's the charm, guys. Mountain Air traffic, Comanche 514 Delta Victor's right base to final, runway 32 full stop. Down there. Hey, it looks like I'm turning it in kind of short. Let's fix that. But remember, we gotta go. Nose has to stay over further to the left.
Tower 756, Atlanta Center, call maintain, flow level 330.
Kind of point it right at that peak and then turn it in.
You know what my thing is, right? I'm sorry, Atlanta Center. Okay, well, we overshot, but probably not a bad thing, because Crossman's going to blow us back onto the center line. United 23 XL, Atlanta Center, call maintain, flow level 380.
380, United 23 Heavy.
Okay, left wing down, right rudder.
Atlanta Center, American 1216, direct Blue Jay, 51320.
So the 1262, Atlanta Center, call maintain, flow 330.
330,
We're undercorrecting.
I'm sorry, that was for, okay, that was not the right call sign. American 1216, Atlanta Center, welcome.
Hello.
Come on, get the power out. Ugh, jeez.
Atlanta Center, good evening. Citation 424 Delta Charlie, flight level 470.
424 Delta Charlie, Atlanta Center, welcome.
Space colors tomorrow afternoon, or tomorrow morning, I guess, Eastern time. Oh, man, that was a fight, and we almost lost. But yeah, this straight on crosswind, it almost always seems to be what we encounter here. Good gracious. I've literally broken a sweat from that. We can stow the flaps. Probe landing. Pitot and fuel pump. And by the way, not at all graceful. Not at all graceful crosswind correction.
420, I'm closing.
Overcorrected, undercorrected. I'm sure the the telemetry is going to look hilarious here. Well, first of all, the ground track is wild enough.
Back in 1216, frequency change approved. I'm closing.
Foco, have a nice day. American 1216.
Yeah, T4 Delta Charlie, frequency change approved. I'm closing. 4 Delta Charlie, frequency change approved.
So it gave us an 86 out of 100. That's not bad. Gave us really good marks on everything except the crab angle. Crab was exceeding 5 degrees. Yeah, no kidding.
Sorry, 756, frequency change approved.
Thank you very much for your efforts in ATC today.
No frickin' kidding.
We're over to Unicom.
And within the touchdown zone that it calculated, which is crazy. That's a nice long touchdown zone, fortunately. What did it count as the... Yeah, 9 knot left crosswind. That's not surprising. What did it count as the descent rate at the moment the wheels touch? 96. That's not bad considering. So there we go. Yeah, Space Colors. I'm sorry. You were trying to converse with me. I had my hands full. But anyway, let's see what the predictions were for against the 96, 65, and 43. Were those the only 2 guesses we got? All right, bet Dave takes it again then. Oh, I gotta get another. I forgot. I gotta get one more raffle ticket. Well, bet Dave, I'll get you another entry. Oh no, here we go. I got another set of blankets right here. See, I thought I got these earlier.
696, I'm closing. Frequency change approved.
All right. Well, after that workout, and fortunately the power stayed on here at the studio. 622. All right, well, fortunately the power stayed on here at the studio, but we got the aircraft down. We can go ahead and get the shutdown done, and then we'll figure out who we're going to send the raid over to. Our normal show schedule, by the way, is Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 7 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time, 2300 Zulu Time, in case you're brand new to the channel. The full show schedule is underneath the About tab. It's also found under over on our Discord server, and the Discord server link will be appearing right there at the bottom right-hand side of your screen momentarily.
All aircraft Atlanta now closed, full sail.
Hold on one second, guys. Alright, well, let's go ahead and get the shutdown done. And, I can run in and change my undershorts for the second time tonight. But we can go ahead and get comm radios 1 and 2 off. The transponder, ADF radio. Kill the rest of the avionics. Let's just do mixed full rich, and we'll run up to 1500. I'm going to do a quick blip of the mag switch just to make sure that it does indeed, that the lead wire does indeed remain attached to where it kills the mag power. You don't want live mags on the ramp without knowing it. Somebody could bump your prop and start it to spin, which could injure them. But yeah, so the mag switch does indeed work. We'll go ahead and pull the throttle down to idle and the mix to cut off, and then the mags can come off the rest of the way. Okay, so we got the fuel valves off. We can go ahead and pop the door here. Go ahead and get the... Oops, I didn't mean to do that. With the control lock on. And we'll go ahead and hop out here. All right, let's run around the aircraft and set up the remaining static elements. We can actually go ahead and close and latch the door before we do that. We can get the wheel chock and tie down set. Wheel chock and tie down. And let's put the pitot cover back on. And then the final tie down, and then we'll grab up all our stuff out of the storage area here. A little moonwalk in here. Actually, I'll tell you what, let's do a quick escape key here. This is a FlightSim.to freeware add-on scenery package for Mountain Air Resort. But it does, I did install it before the stream tonight and test it just to make sure it works for FlightSim 2024, and it's not too bad. Yeah, I mean, the terrain is kind of really weirdly elevated here, so that is all accurate. The clubhouse is pretty close, not 100%, but it's close enough. And the little cabins and houses there into the side of the mountain, and then they got the road that winds down and kind of winds its way down the slope there, and then the golf course, of course, is all among that. And of course, our slant artwork adventure, we're going to go ahead and call that closed for this evening, but the slant artwork adventure was us teeing off at the course here. Started off as a nice sunny day. It started looking a little bit more like me and a little less like me as we got going. Actually, what's that? So that looks a lot like me. This looks less like me, but somehow with the hat on, it goes back to looking more like me. I don't know. But anyway, a nice sunny day, and then and then the storms moved in, and then it started downpouring on us. But there's us teeing off, me and the three co-pilots driving the golf cart there at Mountain Air Resort. So there you go, our slant artwork adventure for the evening. Very representative of tonight's stream, and of course, what these are, we create an image by feeding it an image description into ChatGPT. That then becomes the thumbnail when we upload this to YouTube later. So we make it as representative as we can of the live stream that evening. But anyway, we have one of our favorite places to head to, Mountain Air Resort, just north and east of Asheville, North Carolina. Burnsville, North Carolina, in fact, is what it's called. So there we are. There was our third and final leg. And then earlier this evening, we finished up the final airports on the Atlanta AirTCC Pilot Passport Challenge. So that is now done. We can start focusing on the New York Flight Quest ones. But of course, we've got our normal rotation of planes that we like to fly. And actually, as I mentioned before, we've got our stream on Friday. That will be the BAE 146 that we're going to finish up tonight at LaGuardia. That'll be a part of one challenge. We got our DC-6 that we're going to start in Bermuda and fly up to Newark. That's going to knock out another part of one challenge. We're going to just chip away at the New York ones. That's kind of bit by bit, not to, we're not going to be in a rush to finish those, but we'll just knock them out piece by piece as we are able. And then, there might be a stream or two where we devote an entire evening to getting some of those challenges done. So that'll be the plan coming up. But as we mentioned, the full show schedule is underneath the About tab, also found over on our Discord server, and you can check that out. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, normal show schedule, 7 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time, 2300 Zulu Time. But do check the full show schedule, because there are different days that we switch out and, we swap out one day for another if there's a special VATSIM event coming, or occasionally I'll have work or personal obligations. We'll have to switch out a day or miss a day. So definitely check on that full show schedule under the About tab or over on the Discord server to see not only what we're going to be up to, when we're going to be on, but what we're going to be up to. Space Colors, do I ever fly outside of North America? Yes, not often, but yes. We did participate in the Friday Night Ops event this past Friday that was down in Mexico. So again, it's an FNO, it's a VAT USA FNO, but partnered with VATSIM Mexico. So we had Mexican VATSIM Mexico controllers working traffic on a Friday night. So we do those whenever we come across those, and they do those in Australia, they do those in the Caribbean, they've done those in South America. Do I ever fly outside of North America? That's well, okay, fair point. Do I ever fly outside of the U.S. was the way I read it, but you're correct to call me out on that. But they've done those in the Caribbean, they've done those in South America, they've done those in Australia. So yeah, we do occasionally fly outside of North America, and then we've been doing some challenging 737 approaches over in Europe, over in the in the Mediterranean area from time to time. So it's not terribly often we venture outside of North America, but we do once in a while. Yeah, you're right. You said North America, and I read America. Duh. Whoopsie. All right, anyway. America, F yeah. All right, anyway, so, we got the follow there from Space Color. That's what got the follow from you? Oh my goodness. You know, normally I try to be relatively intelligent, but I guess sometimes it's the dumbass moments that get me the follows. I'll just keep that in mind. Right. Either way, we appreciate having you, and we thank you very kindly for the follow. Hope that you'll stop back and see us. The next couple of shows coming up. So Wednesday, VATSIM Air Traffic Control. No particular event. Should be a nice, very chill, quiet night for VATSIM Air Traffic Control. Newbie-friendly night. I had published, we had a discussion with some newer pilots in the VATSIM community Discord about possibly flying out with us on Wednesday. I'm most likely going to end up working the Chesapeake sector of Potomac approach right there near BWI Airport, Baltimore, just outside of D.C. We might end up covering that plus the James River sector, so we might be covering a sector that covers both Baltimore and Richmond, Virginia. We'll see how that goes. Depending on who else from ZDC comes out and grabs up positions maybe before I get there, it's possible that I would push off and do either Raleigh, North Carolina, or Wilmington, North Carolina as our backup plan. So we've got a few options, but we'll see where we end up, and I'll publish that as the stream starts to get ready to go live. I'll let you know where I'm going to be in case any of you would like to fly out. And of course, like I said, we got those new folks from the VATSIM community Discord. We were, offering to provide some newbie-friendly air traffic control services. So we'll see if we can get a few of those to come out as well. So that'll be Wednesday stream. We'll also be pulling our landing rate raffle winner. We've got the entire month of June's worth of landing rate raffle entries here. And we'll draw a winner from that stack on Wednesday's stream. And then we'll reset those entries and start collecting those anew for July. And then Friday's stream, it is the Friday Night Ops being hosted by Detroit. It's called the Fireworks on Friday, or Fire, I forget it's a firework-themed Friday Night Ops event being hosted by Detroit. We are going to be starting in Minneapolis. We're going to be stopping over in Detroit and then heading into LaGuardia. We'll be in the Just Flight BAE 146 for that one. And then on Monday, I believe it's Monday, we are in the Learjet. Hold on a second. Yeah, okay. So Monday, a week from tonight, it is the 8th Streamiversary giveaway. We will be in the Learjet. We'll be flying down in the Caribbean, and we will be doing 2 landings, and we'll be scoring your predictions 0 to 500 points as to how accurate your predictions are. You do need to be present for both landings in order to be eligible, but whoever is present for both landings and registers predictions, and whoever are the top 3 most accurate predictors across our 2 landings, we're going to give you 500 points for A dead-on landing, 500 minus the difference in terms of the feet per minute, your prediction versus the actual. So total points available at the end of the evening will be 1,000, and we'll take the top 3 point totals for the evening. We'll award gift cards in the amount of 100, 50, and 25 for those top 3 finalists. And the winning gift cards are to the winner's choice in all cases. Winner's choice between Amazon and Xplane.org store and SimMarket.com. So that'll be a week from tonight in the Learjet in the Caribbean. And then Wednesday, a week from Wednesday, July 1st, that's when we're back in the DC-6. We're doing the Bermuda to Newark. So lots of fun stuff coming up on the stream. Hope that you'll join us for it. But in the meantime, let's get the raid going over to our very good friend Melvin Leroy. It looks like he's doing, is it the Challenger? Yeah, the Hot Start Challenger. And he's doing the Sunshine Spotlight Series down there in Jacksonville's airspace. So let's get you over to him. Looks like he's just about getting ready to take off, so we'll start that raid now. And please make sure you tell our very good friend Melvin Leroy that Slant Alpha says hello and sends his love. And then, guys, we will be back with you on Wednesday from the radar room somewhere within the Washington ARTCC. So between now and then, hope that you have a good start to your week. We've got the audio for VATSIM upgrade coming tomorrow, so we'll see on Wednesday how exciting those changes are. Between now and then, be happy, healthy, and safe in all of your travels and adventures, and we'll talk to you again soon, friends. Good night.